Hello. Behold. Just waiting for everything to boot up. Yeah, yo, look at this. Skinks only. The newest challenge in the line of my insanity. So, unfortunately, there aren't enough skinks to go only skinks without beasts. So, I will have some beasts on the back end. But primarily, we'll be summoning in skinks. I'm gonna try, if possible, for today to only summon in them skinks. Pterodon riders, they do not count. unless I feel like I have to replace the Dreadsaurian, the Shredder of Lustria. But I probably won't, right? Come on, it's already sick anyways, right? It's everything I need. I wish there were more skink units. What are beasts if not big skinks? The beasts. The Bastiladon. At most, alright, if I do take a beast, it has to be there have to be skinks riding on it. But primarily I want to see if I can make do with just all of these boys. Skinks are pretty interesting. Lots of speed. Fairly good stats. I think this guy got buffed recently. He can take the warrior's crest to make him insanely strong. Got decent spell casting over here. Very okay spell casting. Although the new Amber Spear is pretty high. Amber Spear, it's basically you can get a lot of work done with this. You'd be surprised. But yeah, I'm real interested to see how this one goes. Let us see. Sorry, I'm getting an admin issue. Someone wants to sign up. I think it's Broccoli Fangirl. Let's see here. Gotta make sure everything's good and then we can start. Seen Tzeentch win in yesterday's tournament. Dude, Tzeentch is getting hella meta. Tzeentch is going crazy, man. Is Broccoli Fangirl able to sign up? If they can't, I have to move like the tournament time, but we'll see. Yeah, yo. No Croxagores either. It's gonna be crazy. All right. Just some last minute admin things and then we're good. And we begin. But yeah, this is going to be the units with skinks on them are fringe. I'm gonna summon everything else first. I want to try like Manticore summons and Amber Spear because both of those got buffed, which means they're probably still worse than Flock of Doom, but you never know. No beasts, no Saurus. Well, like, you know, if I do no beasts, I can't even spend all my money, can I? No beasts, no Saurus. Oh, I guess I can run Slon. Nah, I don't even run Slon. Oh, well, I guess if you count Croxagores. Croxagores are, they be beasts, or they be not beasts. Alright, here we go. So, it disappears, everything's goody. Everything should be goodies. Is Broccoli Fangirl added? Okay, sick. It's generating the bracket. Announcements tourney. Goblins round 1 has begun! Exclamation mark. We're up against Pontim's Claw. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Pontim's Claw. Hit him up with the yo-yo. Alrighty. I'm Lizardman. Here we go. Yo, I'm so ready for this new Tzeentch meta though. Tzeentch actually feels like a faction now. It's crazy. Very reliant on armor, so I feel like it's totally doable being able to beat them, but yeah. Shredder is really just a really big skink. Technically, the Shredder has the most skinks on it out of every other monster, I believe. Followed by the Thunderous one. If we're talking monsters with sheer quantity of skinks, these guys are pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna need some magic though. We're gonna need some magic. Very nice. Then I'm going to do this and do this. Then I will save this build. You know what I could do to spend all my money? I could chevron. I could chevron my skinks. But chevrons are so bad. It would probably just result in a tournament, bro, right? It would just be terrible. Sorry, more adminning. Dang it, yo, I start these tournaments late and everyone's always last minute. Now, these guys, man. Who's the Lord Tanuin? I was thinking Tanuin would be cool, but like, man, is he expensive. He's basically a red crested skink chief. But he doesn't have the same bonus 30 anti-large. And it's like way easier to snipe your Lord and your caster. I don't know, man. I'm not about that life. Seems kind of rough to me.
At your service.
Skink Lord on Stegodon with Colossal and Crest. Stegodon's not allowed, actually. Stegodon's not allowed, unfortunately. But if you have a later suggestion, I might try it out. We're going back to the Warhammer 3 release date with Tzeentch being oppressive. It's a different type. Well, before it's Forsaken Spawn. Nowadays, it's a little different. Thank you very much for becoming a member, though. It's still a skink? No, it ain't. The challenge is I have to go as hardcore on the skinkening as I possibly can. Like, literally, if I can avoid monsters, that would be the best. Tzeentch is a nerd. I feel like, let's see here. So Tzeentch right now, he has really strong heroes. He's decent infantry, he has Zongors. But is Tzeentch actually, like, oppressive good? I wonder. So far, they seem to be, like, you know, A tier. I would say A tier, but they might suffer the same problems that, like, Khorne and such deal with. Khorne is very similar, not without without all the magic shenanigans, but like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to tell. It's very hard to tell. All right, he's ready. Ooh, let's change the banner. I don't like the Hexawaddle banner very much. Let's go to Laxlon. But yeah, I don't know. If they're just spamming armor, how do they deal with the usual, like, hard kite? It's like Centaurs of Tzeentch, Chaos Knights of Tzeentch. And then you have your Warriors and Zongors, but like, I guess they have blues and stuff. They can't go some shooty. They got some Air Force G's. So it's like Khorne. But like it's not like it covers all the matchups though. I don't know, we'll see. Check the mass values on the skink variants. Are they different? All right, here we go. A Dark Elves. So goal today is try and win with as many skink units as possible. It's gonna require a lot of infantry micro for sure. And I don't have many ways to deal with chariots. That's why these guys are so important. Worst case, I also have Amber Spear. Ready. Amber Spear is pretty good versus chariots. We shall see. The more elite the skink, the less mass. These guys are 80 mass. These guys are 90 mass. These guys are 70 mass. Well, they got less armor, right? These are like the berserker skinks. I think they, you can count them as different variants, I'm sure. No Flock of Doom? Yeah, I'm having some fun today. Double Medusa, okay. These guys do have 40% missile resist. So that should be rather painful to deal with. You'll see that I'm capturing the point mysteriously. I wonder what could possibly be doing such things. Surprise! It was skink skirmishers, who would have guessed? They can play pretty aggressive, they're not too worried. They're gonna be very good versus these guys. Now, Medusas just do massive damage anyways. He does whiff a single ability, so that's pretty nice. Whiffs the pendulum. Solid, solid. And yeah, Medusas won't be able to get that much damage in, I feel. Plus, we got this little dude. He'll be great at tussling and getting that fight on. There you go. We got a couple more skirmishers. We got to pull back. Whoops, the daisicles. So his lord is certainly very low. You might even be able to Amber Spear her face. Wouldn't that be funny? If it actually worked. Unfortunately, no, it does not work. Dang it. Very disappointing. Oh, he has a blackguard. Oh, hell yeah. That's like heaven for these guys. For my little armor piercing boys. All right. Gotta go for that. In the meantime, this little hero is just gonna go ham. He's just gonna go ham. Because who would have guessed it? He's very good at anti-large. Medusa's running for her life. Assassin's coming in to support though. Surprising. You know, I think we do something in that Manticore. So there you go. Solid Routerino. We're going to be able to kill these guys. We can push back his skirmishers and this guy will probably live. In the meantime, looks like Red Crested's crushing it. Manticore going on in. I was a little late with the Manticore summon, but what can you do? Great thing about Skinks too, by the way, is that they have immaculate capture weight. Can this guy kill an assassin? Assassin has a lot of stats. Okay, he does pendulum my poor javelins before they use all their ammunition, but it looks like overall things are still going really well. In general, skink builds will do really well against these kind of skirmisher builds. Unfortunately, assassin will most likely be able to kill my lord if I'm not careful here, so we're just gonna back it up. But overall, trading value is pretty good. Infantry trade up quite well when they don't have to deal with ludicrous numbers of chariots. Though I must say that assassin is very annoying. Will his lord be able to be a menace this day? We shall see. I should probably summon in some units. You can get more skinkies in. There we go. Skirmishers will do great. They're fine. And I don't know if I actually landed a hit there. A little unfortunate, but what can you do? Triple cap at least is very good. Cold One Knights, however, gonna be a big issue. Thankfully, we do have armor piercing skinks. My lord has routed to the assassin, though. Mildly sus. Though these guys look like they're still doing fine. I will say, though, that assassin. Oh, crap. He's gonna actually capture this point with the blackguard. My bad. That's actually pretty bad. If we start down trading here, it could potentially lead to a lot of issues. Come on, you darn assassin. Can you stop hunting my lord? Being lordless will be a little unfortunate, I must say. It's not the end of the world, but it will be slightly unfortunate. And I believe he just died. Pretty nasty pendulum comes down to. I will say, my opponent is certainly making this a tussle. There come more Cold One Knights. Oh boy. However, with this many red crested, we're probably still okay. Looks like my skinks over here are doing okay. We got a lot of ranged firepower, that's for sure. The Blackguard, though, providing such intense capture weight, however, is going to be a big problem. Looks like my lord is, what, shattered or something? I don't know where he is. At least the assassin's down. And at least we'll probably be able to secure this point very soon. Tickets are still very close, too, I must say. Terrifying. Okay, there we go. We got another Manticore. That's gonna be good. So even if this guy dies, I can just resummon him for more Manticores. And it looks like, yes, indeed, the assassin goes down. I'll be able to re-secure a triple cap. And as long as we just use our sheer weight of numbers here, just the pure infinity skinks, we should be okay. Manticore will bully the Medusa just fine, and there's the capture. Now, do I summon in the Thunderous one is the real question. I could just summon more skinks. I think we probably should. I wish I could summon more skinks, but we're gonna stick with the Thunderous one. It's a little cheaty, I know. But it'll have to do. Look at that Manticore. Yo, Manticore buff's insane. Okay, so there we go. There's a capture. Or it's 700 tickets. It's very close, right? If I start down trading here, things will go atrociously. But he doesn't really have that much in the way of killing off this many skinks. It's kind of a ludicrous number of skinks, I must admit. Cold One Knights are no big deal. Not when you got Amber Spears. Boom, down the line. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the fact that I killed the Medusa with the Manticores already means this guy paid for himself. Medusas are expensive. This is a very premium hit. And he also got himself a little bit of raw value too. So I don't think it's too bad. Looky there. All right. Hey, the kid, welcome to the crew. I hope you're enjoying the skinkening. I will say, it's a lot of very fast capture weight. That's essentially what this build is, right? It's just a ludicrous amount of fast capture weight that just chills and causes issues for everyone. And we'll have to make sure he doesn't capture this point, though. Lord will be back in but a second. You know what? Let's just get him summoned now, just so I don't get my guys routed. It's a little bit of a waste, but I really don't want to have my guys mass route here. That would just be so painful. There you go. Goodbye, assassin. He's still triple capped too, mind you. He's still ludicrously triple capped. And I am preventing his cavalry over here from getting the point. Very nice, dude. This is a hilarious strat. It's the skink tide. It never ends. All right, stuck it on with snipe. Unfortunately, does not have snipe. And his Cold One Knights do capture 1 point. Trading wise, it's still very close too. Look at this poor guy. He's doing his best. So I'm not gonna try and take this point. That seems like a bad idea. Just gonna keep pulling away. We're just gonna keep stalling. Maybe resummon some skink skirmishers, as they generally trade up really well. And then we'll go from there. Definitely gotta desummon a whole lot here if we're gonna want to continue having units at all to summon on in. I think, let's see, these Cold One Knights are really occupied, which is working out well for me. The fact that they're not really able to participate in the rest of the fight because of risk of me just capturing all the points is huge. Okay, there we go. He's just trying to... Oh, Jesus, another pendulum. All right, that was pretty painful. Looks like he will try to go for this point, but leftmost point will be very secure, and this one will fall incredibly quickly. Not to mention the middle will also be very difficult for him. These skirmishers probably can't ride off the Stegodon, though if I don't play this right, they definitely could. Here we go. Let's just pile on in with the skinks. They can go and capture super fast. Middle point's still fine. Just a little bit more time and then we're good. There you go. Goodbye, Bleak Swords. Looks like this will be very difficult for him to capture. I have so many I have so many skinks coming on, and dude, the back caps are crazy with this build. Are you kidding me? With a mix of the Vanguard and the 300 gold infantry with 46 speed. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, he's never getting these points with cavalry. And then they kind of just sit around and uptrade. It's great. Yes to Skink Oracle. I think Skink Oracle, I'll think about Skink Oracle. You know, maybe I will. Maybe since I already had to summon in the Thunderous one, maybe we will try out that donation suggestion from Darstrix. Skink Lord on a Stegodon. I think we might as well, since I already brought in the Thunderous one. Like, how many skinks does this guy even have anyways, right? Let's get some skink variety going. Oh crap, wait, this game's not over yet. It ain't over just yet. I still have to hunker down on this point. Thankfully, these guys are like, what, like 20 capture weight? So they'll probably be fine. I only have to hold for 40 seconds less if this point doesn't fall, which it looks like it's not. Impressive. Very, very impressive. I must say, these guys. As an infantry mobile main type, it's like almost Slaneshi. It's like, it reminds you of when Slanesh had their old, you know, marauders with anti-infantry. Honestly, pretty sick. Pretty sick. Yeah, that was very skink heavy. The chameleon skinks were, yeah, pretty good. But like, everyone kind of traded well. You know, these great weapon dudes can really catch armored cavalry. Manticore summons, kill the Medusa. I love it. Speed the most important stat in the game? Absolutely not. Speed is very good, but outside of, like, you know, just melee stats, although, okay, like here, so out of the melee stats, charge bonus is the best. Out of the non-melee stats, speed is really important, but I think leadership is actually even more impactful than speed.
Can you be bribed to bring a chameleon stalker?
Oh yeah, of course, man. So yeah, so what? We gotta take Stegodon, and then we gotta do a chameleon. Gotta do chameleon stalker, sure. As long as the matchup is ready for it, though. I don't want to just throw. This is a difficult faction to be playing as. So it's Lizardman versus Dark Elves, and Lizardman wins. HP is... It's in a tier of its own. It's not even in the stat section, but as a stat, yes, HP is very important. You can have the best stats in the world, but 1 HP will do you in. You can work with 0 melee defense, that's fine. Hell, you can almost... No, if you have 0 leadership, it's worse. I'd rather have 1 HP than 1 leadership. Yeah. So you want, what? Chameleon Stalkers, as much as I can bring. And you want me to bring a Red Crested with Warrior's Crest Stegodon. I love it. I was thinking about this earlier. So this is plus 40 melee attack. Makes him a beast in combat. Makes him an absolute unit. Colossal Strike 2. Okay, yeah, so bonus versus large 16. He already has bonus versus infantry. But yeah, if I do this, right, you probably want to heal him with like a Skink Oracle. What does Divining Rod do? Oh, huh. It's just Arcane Conduit. It's kind of boring. Is there like a hidden effect that they added in single player that I don't know about? Anyways, yeah, this will do. So this way we have 2 big monsters and then 1 million skinks to support. Yeah, and Colossal Strike. All right, all right. I'm feeling good about today, by the way. This Skinks only is very restrictive, but not the worst. How's the Skink tag going? Very good so far, but that last game wasn't as dominating as I had hoped for. It did get a little close by the end, which worries me slightly. Lower miscast chance in single player. Okay, so it's not really that impactful then. You know, I could also just spam fireballs down the pipe. Fireball is a very underrated spell. It's a very underrated spell. You can get a surprising amount of work done. Just casting it on infantry. It's a lot like Doombolt. It's a lot like Doombolt, but the positioning's a bit harder to nail down. You do need like a fast or a flying lord to get it just right. Something skinks in here. The puns. All right, so we got these two. Every other skink you can kind of just max out on. There unfortunately are not very many skinks in the game, or there are a lot. They just don't use a lot of money. Before I start chevroning these guys. Rev Crystal has a lot of skinks too. It's true. Kind of makes me wonder, right? Skink Oracle. Do I run him, or do I just run 2 Rev Crystals? Or Manticore skinks. I did make use of Manticore summons. If a skink creates it, I guess it's a skink. How about another Oracle? Way too expensive. Way too expensive. So I can't really field that many skirms. Do I really not have more skinks I can field? There's gotta be more. How is my money so high? How are there not more skinks, man? Yo, I was legit thinking I could just take like a skink chief. Give him, I don't know. You know, as a 400 gold assassin, he's kind of like an assassin. 33, 36 melee stats, no armor piercing, hell yeah. You can kind of sit around and just poke though. Maybe kill some elite infantry, I don't know. Weird that they don't have a cav option. Source, maybe they're too mini for it. I know Pterodon Riders are skinks, but there's a 360 range unit limit that caps out. Oh wait, no, it's the missile units. No, okay, a chameleon skinks is limited. So max on missile units. Crap. Yeah, I can only take so many, and I kind of have to go for skink cohort. Okay, are you kidding me? Am I actually just out of dudes to summon? Ripperdactyl riders are skinks, right? Ripperdactyls are skinks. Cold One riders used to be skinks. Oh, okay. Holy crap, man. Dude, how did this last build even spend its money? I guess I did have to take a Shredder of Lustria just to spend my monies. Crazy. Firebolas, yeah, but these are all range units, so we can't take them. I'd just be subbing out one skink for another. Could take a normal Dreadsaurian. Could take just a Normosaurian. I think having just one of these mega beasts is hilarious. Yeah, units are too cheap. Yeah, anyone know if gold chevron red cresteds are good? Nah. They'd just be a worse regiment of renown, right? More, only, yeah, same price. Same price, but not unbreakable. Then again, at 72 leadership, you know, they get close to it. Oh, they don't have the unkillable, though. They don't have refuse to die. Yeah. Regiment of Renown, way better. No, it would be cool if CA had the time to balance out chevrons. I don't think they ever will have the time, but... Alright, we got a misreported score. Let me fix that real quick. Where is it at? Uh-huh. Just gotta fix this, I think, and then we're good. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm doing a new tournament format now, by the way. I'm doing away with this whole opponent point business. So because the bracket goes by pretty quickly, I'm doing a new thing, which will help me and many other players alike. Which is, if you get 3 wins, you get to play. You get to get into the top finals. So like, you know, I'll set up as many tiebreakers as needed to get it down to 4 players, but that should make things a lot less frustrating. Because I think it's way too easy to get screwed over by opponent points. Maybe speaking from experience. You know, sometimes it's a little bit more clearer, but like I feel like, you know, why not, right? These tournaments go by pretty quickly anyways. It adds maybe 1 more round. Yeah, for a small tourney, yeah. I think once the tournaments get bigger, you just kind of have to do extra rounds. But like these, you know, single map tournaments in the beginning, I feel like it's way easier to do it this way. And then, you know, if you get like 4 wins, you don't have to play it because there probably won't be a tiebreaker. You're doing the challenge? Yeah, I'm doing the challenge at Sotek. Lore Master of Sotek bestowed upon me. 1 more match and then we're good. Yeah, Sotek said dino mounts were okay. I kind of wanted to try only skinks, but we just ran out of skinks. There's not enough skinks, guys. I don't know what to say. Yeah, I do tend to lose my first game. If you remove a single skink, you could technically get a Dreadsaurian. I could technically get the Shredder of Lustria. But I'm happy just getting the normal Dreadsaurian. It's fine. It's cheaper. It doesn't have Encourage or Dread Aversion. But it still does 1,000,000 damage. You can't go too wrong with it. How fast can you make the Dreadsaurian? Our Quaddle has Time Warp. You can overcast Time Warp with the Slan. I'm sure there's a lot you can do with the Slan. Is there a Lore of Shadow Slan? Can you like Time Warp and then use the Shadows passive? I think there is, right? You can hear that amp speed. No, Skaven used to have the Mad Piper's Piper, whatever item that gave you extra charge speed when you were near the hero in question. I think they changed that item and how it worked, but it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. All right, advancing the Swiss. Goblins round round 2. Exclamation mark. And who am I up against? Danican or Charix? Okay. Adler. Alright. Yo, I've never messaged them before. Okay. Never seen them before. Maybe a new player. I'm Lizardman. And the map is going to be Borderlow Landing. Borderlow. Here we go. Should be a fun one. Let's take a look at their faction. SFT Declaration Tomb Kings. Oh boy, okay. So here's the thing about Tomb Kings. They're pretty slow, so I should be able to out-capture them. This is a matchup where Chameleon Skinks are, like, or Chameleon Stalkers are actually quite good. Yeah, no Croxagores, no Croxagores. It's only beasts that are being ridden by skinks. So unless you can find a Croxagore, that would be the cutest thing ever. But no, Croxagores are not skink mounts. Let's see. Tomb Kings, eh? Code is not working. Can't wait to see the value on these guys. Against Tomb Kings, it's not that bad. Oh, hell yeah, he's in. Alrighty. Tomb Kings versus the Skinky Boys. So, I do have to worry about Ushopti. If there are Ushopti, I just have to keep my Lord safe. The Axe Skinks are not bad into Tomb Kings. The biggest problem is that they have chariots. Really painful chariots. They have some monsters too, but I have a few tools that are decent into that. So we'll see. I think there's I don't know. Usually these mass infantry builds are harder to hard counter. So I'll always have a fighting chance, but I don't know if I'll be able to like crush it. Lore-wise, Croxagores are just a rare type of skink. Yeah, can't you say that about all the lizardmen though? All technically a part of the same spawning. They're all related. Rule of Cool demands a Shredder ROR. I want to real bad, but the shuffling is a little janky. Also, Shredder ROR does not work well against Tomb Kings, but we'll probably see it in the next game. Is the 2x damage chariots fixed yet? Like from what? Stuff like Amber Spear and stuff? That was fixed a while ago. So chariots are much tankier now. Croxagores are skinks that went to the gym. I don't know if I've ever seen such results from the gym. Who knows? Maybe one day when I become Ripped City, it'll be great. -8 leadership dread aversion is better because it affects undead. It affects everything, but leadership debuffs suck way more on undead because they only crumble. You're doing like an extra 10 damage a second. It's not too impressive. If you can get them to the -50 leadership tipping point though, they do shatter and they just die instantly. So you might want a crazy leadership bomb against like skeletons or zombies, but it's usually not a good strategy. All right, here we go. Chameleon Stalkers. How do you rate the Doombolt spell? Doombolt spell is, I would say, in the same tier as Malkoth's and Flock of Doom. In that it's a very powerful spell. I think, yeah, I think it's a very powerful spell, but I don't think it will always get you more value than a Flock of Doom or like, or a Malkoth's. Because those ones you can just chuck out, do like 1,000,000 damage to cavalry. You can do it super early on. Doombolt has some counterplay to it by just staying super far away, or bringing slightly tankier lords or what have you. There's a few quick damage resist spells that can also help out a lot. So if they're overcasting it, they waste like 14 winds of magic. But yeah, it's very powerful. You know, on the same tier as like as good as Burning Head is versus infantry, although people are dodging Burning Head nowadays. All right, here we go. Chameleon Stalkers. They're great. I can probably capture a bunch of points here at the very beginning of the game. The idea here, because I don't really think I can just outduel the Tomb Kings. This guy doesn't have Vanguard? What is this? I don't think I can outduel the Tomb Kings. Ready, good luck, have fun. But I believe I can outcapture them. Mobility wise, we are so much stronger than them. It will be very difficult for Tomb Kings to actually stop me from just capturing a million points and just playing keep away. If he goes for a mobility build, my guys are pretty fast. They should be able to stay away from Nahakar Horsemen. And I guess the Javelins also do pretty well there. But the Chariots are TBD. Now, Red Crested Skinks can do a lot of damage if he doesn't micro them perfectly. And my single entities, of course, are really good too. But who knows how many Ushabti this guy has. The plus side, though, is if he goes too heavy on the range, we're set. So as you can see, as we begin, he has some Skelly Horse Archers and Arc in the Black. So we're actually saved by the bell. The suggestion to go for Skink Oracle and this guy, it's actually huge because I have healing. They'll just be ultra resistant to all that business. Because, yeah, healing. Ah, hell yeah, look at that. Sick damage. That was real disappointing, wasn't it? Real disappointing. It happens, though. Anyways, Argan Black's not gonna kill me. If he wastes a Buna on 600 gold dudes, it's not the worst. He does have a lot of Ushabti, so we must line of sight him. Park away over here and stay safe. We killed a couple skeleton horsemen, but took a little bit of skirmishing damage myself. Such is life. I just need to stall him out because with this many Ushabti, he's not gonna be able to push into me super hard. It's simply an impossibility. This is a ludicrous number of Ushabti, right? It's like 2,200 gold worth of Ushabti. So if I just kind of bully this flank over here while hunkering down on this here point, I believe life will begin to get very annoying for my opponent. Let's go. Pretty good chameleon stalker charge on the horse archers. I'm just gonna keep spamming my boys, man. These guys are great. Yeah, am I gonna win every game by just kind of evenly trading and capturing all the points? Is that really the is that the hidden strategy? You just use a million skinks to just steal points from people? This is a very different type of skew build, but you know, it's basically just a DPS check, right? It's just a DPS check. Can you actually kill this many skinks? So far, my opponent has not captured any points. Clock's ticking, man. Damage trading overall is fairly low, all things considered. And these guys are fast. These guys are hella fast, man. Speed demons, these skinks. Still line of sighting them. There's no point taking more damage. We want damage mitigation. Chucks out the Spirit Leech. Pretty funny. We both can't really use our magic right now, so we're just gonna very suboptimally use it for both sides. Alright, here we go. More skinks. Get them in there. They actually do uptrade versus skeleton spears really well, by the way. Skinkies. They're very good for that. Still has yet to capture any points. This is the downside of the Ushabti. Just go over here. Got to be super careful about these guys because the Ushabti can potentially just melt them instantly. So I gotta play it safe. We're gonna go thick formation. Gonna get these ranged guys to safety. Okay, there we go. It's like, oh no, he's just targeting these guys. Oh, perfect. Well, in that case, yeah, we'll just colossal strike his cavalry, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have too many uses of anything here. Jeez, the capture weight though, dude. Most factions, like even Empire with its spearmen, they can't really keep up with the capture rate of the Lizardmen. It's just so insanely high. What does this do? It just stops rampage. It's pretty useless. You can see how quickly my lord dies though as soon as we peel him out of there. He just begins dying. Back to cover. Did he get another Ushabti? Holy crap. All right, Mad Lad gets yet another Reshopty, so we're gonna hide behind this here pillar. Just cram ourselves right in there. Yep, just right to safety as we continue to swarm this far point with a million skinks. All right, and we patch ourselves up. Those Reshopty are occupied. The clock's really ticking now. Now I am down trading, but like the trading has been fairly low overall. I don't think I have to worry that much. This guy's still alive too. He's given great capture weight. There you go. As you can see, my skinks very good at taking out that point. I think middle slowly gonna be capturinoed, but like these guys just don't give up. They just straight up don't give up. Look at them. They're still going at it. 1 million skinks. Truly an impossibility to defeat. The Lizardman Man-Tide. Lizardman Man-Tide, truly something to be feared. Alright, 800 tickets now. Let's see here. It looks like this guy will probably die. No, he sticks around. Okay. Yeah, if I kill Ark in the black here, that'd be sick. All right, nice. Reshopty still trying to get in there. We're not gonna let him though. The stalling shall continue. Middle point is still not in. 0 tickets. Oh my gosh, just the straight up 0 tickets is hilarious. Skink Tide for the win. Absolute skink tidening. All right, nice. Yeah, sure, I get the colossal strike. As long as the Lord lives, I'm happy. Get that unkillable going over there. Let's get yeah, just more skinks, right? Just keep piling onto the point. We have more men than they have arrows. Look at this guy, he's cooking them too. Those chosen of the gods, they really died to this guy. Just gonna use that ability because I really have nothing else to do right now other than swarm points with skinks. Into the horizon. Forever. Literally forever. It's just endless skinks. This guy is gonna be very, very traumatized after this. He's gonna hate skinks after this. Oh my gosh, yeah, there's the full capture weight. Ark in the black's kind of looking sus too. These guys are unbreakable, so they're completely fine. No back point steals either, but he might get the middle point. He might get the middle point eventually. And if he rapidly takes his far point, it would get sus, but it does look like we are really well secured here. The Necropolis Knights, dude, they're never gonna do it. Oh crap, my lord though. Lord's gonna die. There's not really much I can do about it other than use the Skink Oracle, Skoracle to save him. He's probably gonna rout. I can't heal him though. He just has to live long enough for these guys to keep on holding on. Yeah, so he's probably gonna take the middle then, right? I think we still win on account of this going so well. But it definitely gets a little bit more sus, right? Because he could pretty quickly capture this point if I'm not careful. Seeing a bunch of skelly spears getting summoned on in. And the point does indeed swing. So we gotta relocate and start hunkering down over here. I can't summon a Dreadsaurian. I don't think it's worked, but I guess it's technically possible. Hey, Lord rallied too, hell yeah. Honestly, it's a distraction card effects. It baited him into bringing more Reshopty. It baited him into bringing more Reshopty, and then he was then unable to actually capture any points. Well, he did get one eventually, but that is not very many at all. Yeah, way too much anti-large in this build, I guess. Like, it's still going. Oh my gosh, look at these guys, man. Jeez, bodies everywhere. It doesn't matter. Got 2,000 gold in the bank. Skink Oracle, doing great. And then yeah, I can just rapidly reinforce this point. The clock that this puts on your opponent is insane. I know, right? It's such a mobile main tide. It's a lot like vampire counts, but faster. It's like vampire counts, but more rowdy, but faster. Like way faster. And then you got some monsters you gotta kill too, and it gets real awkward from there. It looks like you will slowly be capturing this point though, but hunkering down on home point will definitely keep me safe for the foreseeable future. I don't think Necropolis Knights will be able to get this, though we will have to see. He does have another Skelly Horseman in here, but it's just 2 units. It'll take him a while to actually capture that. Let's stall him up. Stall him up. A lot of his units are expendable, by the way, which hurts Tomb Kings quite badly too. I will say it's a little sad that Arkan lived, but with 3,000 gold in the bank, we do achieve victory.
I knew it.
All right, there you go. Yeah, I guess, you know, that's Mantide for you. What a DPS check of a build. That's hilarious. Yeah, Ushabti are way too low DPS. He needed chariots. He needed chariots. Though this guy did get 2,700 value. The other Ushabti. Yeah, the Ushabti paid for themselves. It's just like way too slow on the trading fund. Triple capped very early on was punishing. Chameleon Stalkers did not get a lot of value overall, but they were very fighty, which helped. Melee only Empire next. Oh, probably a lot of cavalry, right? Take a lot of cavalry. Maybe you run some great swords. Funnest stuff. Arkan will not be mentioning this to the other Tomb Kings. Man, that awkward moment where you just can't kill the endless chaff. He had a lot of chaff too. He didn't even go for Tomb Guard. Man, the Carrion had like negative targets though. Carrion are also a miss summon, so he should have summoned in some more Skeleton Horsemen. I don't think my opponent played. Oh, whoops, wrong score. 4-0. I wish. Yeah, it's the thing is, right, I think as we face some of the scarier players that have signed up today, we're very likely to run into people who can like micro their way into more DPS. Also, yeah, chariots that are in melee, it can cause line of sight issues. I think they're big enough where the Skink Oracle can shoot them, but there's so many entities, it just takes too long. $2,700 skinks is not much of an overstatement, actually. Man, you could go harder if there were only more skink variants. So like, what are the cheapest units on the Lizardman roster? It's like after you take the skink skirmishers. Do these guys count as a missile unit? Yeah. What a ripoff. So between these, between your skink skirmishers, your chameleon skinks, and your chameleon stalkers, you can only take what? You can only take you can really only take a handful of them. It's kind of sad. There's literally 2,700 skinks deployed in the end screen. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, beautiful then. Oh, dang. Okay, I didn't think it was that high. Usually in lane battle, the highest number of units you would get would like barely scrape the 2,000 range, but I guess domination be like that. What about the flyers? Too expensive? No, it's just army restrictions. Restrictions are a little tight with Lizardmen. Because 360 units. So long ago. Long time ago. People were kiting with a lot of skirmishers. And the band-aid solution was to say, hey, you know what? It's not if it's a skirmisher. Right? It's not if the unit is good at kiting for consistently. We're just going to say if it has 360 degree of fire, it counts as a skirmisher. And then CA released Chameleon Stalkers, and they're like, and like, you know, like later, right? CA released Chameleon Stalkers, and then they're like, oh, looks like we have this restriction on 360 units. I guess this is a 360 unit. And then without really, I don't think it was intentional, because this is not a kite unit in the same way that like chameleon skinks are, right? I can agree that taking like 5 chameleon skinks and 5 skink skirmishers really lets you make a skew build. But I do not think chameleon stalkers and chameleon skinks are really that. Like their roles just don't overlap. But I guess for consistency's sake, that is how they decided to go about it. Also, yeah, I just don't have any. I really don't have any other units, dang. What's his crown? Oh yeah, it's like based on like if you chat a lot. If you message a lot in chat, YouTube's like, congratulations, you're number 3. Use the crown as a measure of your superiority over others. Let the crown corrupt you. Yo, chameleon skink missile resist is insane-o good, man. Oh, it's so nice. 40%. They can tank Medusa shots. Alright, 4 more matches. This Comet of Cassandor, a good spell. Too easy to dodge. Does Dead Toad count as Toad? I believe it does. I believe it does. I don't think he loses Slon status just because he's dead and revived. Whereas a crown on Twitch just means you have an Amazon Prime subscription. Yep. Crowns everywhere. A subscriber on YouTube and a subscriber on Twitch are 2 very different things. Oh, linguistics between platforms. Not using Tehenuin with the skink only veiled, yeah. I also want to try tic-tac-toe at some point. But Tehenuin's pretty funny. He got the Flock of Doom. He has, does he have anything else? Plaque of Sotek? So, if you spam spells on Tehenuin, you get like basically 100 leadership, 20% extra resistance. It ain't bad. It ain't bad at all. Food, don't spam the chat. Don't spam the chat. Don't do it, man. You're doing more, I'll have to time you out. Let's see here. He gets a Ripperdactyl. We're talking about tic-tac-toe. Technically, if you just look at these raw stats, if it's just raw stats, no, don't spam the chat. I'm not about that. You will get timed out if you spam my chat. If not by Nightbot, I'll probably just stuff in. But yeah, look at this. 55 melee attack, 50 melee defense, 90 speed. His armor, his damage could be a little higher, but it's pretty spicy. There's the Engine of the Gods mount. Engine of the Gods is Burning Alignment just takes too long to cast, and it doesn't even do that much damage anymore. It doesn't even do damage anymore, man. So tournament's progressing nicely. We're already we're only 1 hour in, and we're already almost done round 2. Hell yeah. This tournament will be 5 rounds at most. Man, Burning Alignment should do way more damage. It's a laser beam from space. It's so epic looking. Why does it do as much damage as, like... It does less damage than Pendulum. It does about the same damage as Burning Head. Now, Burning Head's a pretty cool looking spell, too. But, like, come on. I feel like it should do as much as, like, a Wind of Death Overcast. If it's so slow. But then it would be OP in single player. And then people would not care. Because if something's OP in single player, like, it doesn't change that much. There's so much OP stuff in single player. It gives 5% ward save and an aura. Does it now? Arcane configuration. Portent of warding. 5%. Oh. So you can get 25% resistance. 40. Missile resist. It's not bad. So if you really don't want to get sniped by Tzeentch or something, you can just cast a spell. You get. I also feel chameleon skinks. Someone wanted to see me run stalkers, and you can't take stalkers and skinks because apparently they're the same unit because they're both chameleons. Yo, okay, honestly, that's a really weird restriction. Why in the world are chameleon skinks and chameleon stalkers both restricted at 5? You can take. That's like saying Marauder great weapons and normal Marauders are restricted at 5. Like, what is even going on? Like, these guys are completely fine. I know why. I totally know why. It's because this is just legacy balancing. This is balancing from literally 5 years ago. Half a decade ago, someone made the decision and it just hasn't really been looked at. It makes a man sad. Yeah, the chameleon stalker, chameleon skink build. If these guys had more ammunition, for sure, I'd be like, oh, that's a little sus. I'm pretty sure minor blasting charges don't even count as range anymore. Yeah, if these guys don't count as a range unit, why do these guys count as a range unit? Their ammunition is not that much different from blasting charges, right? I feel like, you know, I'm gonna write it down right now. I'm putting it in. I'm messaging it up. We'll see. I'll start a discussion. I think, here's the thing. Previously, people were so afraid of, like, they just wanted miners to be nerfed, so they just counted them as ranged. Just as a means to make people not take so many miners. Silly. Overly restrictive system. Why are javelins range units? Because they have enough ammunition to act as a range unit. Javelins make sense, right? So generally, if a unit has enough ranged firepower, okay, yeah, it says 3 ammunition, but like the DPS is rather crazy, right? Like, I feel like the ammunition on these guys does actually last a long time. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because of their massive entity count, but like they can get a good few volleys in. But honestly, I wouldn't mind. In domination, I feel like the range restriction is kind of silly. Like, you have like really weird stuff like rotting Prometheans. Why does this unit count as a range unit? Why does this melee unit count as a range unit? Right? It's just because of consistency, and that only happened because of fruit rules in 2020. Back in 2020, they just wanted it to be consistent for the sake of consistency. And then now, when you go for a crab build, you can't actually, like, imagine, like, this is silly. This is silly. Okay, it has 45 ammo, but like as the way the unit is used. I don't know. I'm gonna bring up the crab situation too. Like, imagine you're like, you know, you're playing Vampire Coast, right? And then you want to go for like, I don't know, this doesn't count as a range unit. But like yeah, the issue is, right, you know, people didn't really like the range spam, right? So they added in the restriction. But like for some factions, there's a lot of units that will inadvertently count as range. I think for Coast, it's just the crabs though. Like imagine you go for like 3 crabs, 2 gunnery whites, you know, and like loot the Harkin, right? You're like, wow, oh my gosh, I love Vampire Coast gunpowder. And then like then all you can take is like what, 3 handgunners and like three pirate mobs. Like you're telling me if I added 1 more handgunner to this is a toxic, abusive build, right? Like we can't possibly. That would just that would break the game. That would break the game even, you know. 1 more handgunner here, wowza. Oh my god, they're gonna shoot me to death. Yeah, I think it should be based on like, you know, it's just on a unit per unit basis, right? On just what kind of makes sense. Sorry, this has been in for 5 years. Okay, it's been in for like my entire Warhammer career, and it's always peeved me. But if I just remove unit restrictions, I have to like add in my own specialties restrictions. Otherwise, like it will be allowing some pretty skew shenanigans. But as far as range is concerned, there's not that much skewing. For skirmish, you can skew it, but I think many units are mislabeled. For single entities, they did fix it. Before, bloated corpses counted as single entities. Now that was bad. That was really bad. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so literally, right? Let me see. I believe it was, yeah. So in a previous patch, until I complained about it, this build would have maxed out on 2 restrictions before, because bloated corpses counted as a single entity and you can only take 5. So like you would just be literally, you're just trolling, right? People are like, I want you to take rotting Prometheans and some bloated corpses, right? And then you do this, and then the game's like, yeah, no, if you do this, you can't take any more of your roster or rotting Leviathans or a Terrorgeist or another bloated corpse. So if you do this, the only units you can bring are your infantry and these guys. You have a whole 6,000 gold to spend on like half your roster with this. It was silly. Oh my goodness. At least they did fix that. So, you know, I think we're heading in the right direction. Speaking of the right direction, SKINKS. I think we need another day of testing bloated corpses on ladder. Didn't Turin cast a game with a bloated corpse and then it went like terribly, like it did nothing? Which lizardmen units benefit the most from Hand of Glory? Assuming you like benefit percentage wise, I think skink cohort javelins would actually like that a lot, because then they can get all their volleys off before they get charged. It'd be pretty hype. Give us a summon bloated corpse as well. I feel like the bloat should have Vanguard, and it should have an activated ability that makes it move at 10% speed but becomes stock and unspottable. I want a bloated landmine, okay? That would actually be good, because it can't rush your opponent down out of nowhere, right? But if they're assaulting your position, they actually have to scout it out before they just kind of YOLO in. I think that would be way more interesting. Bretonnia, eh? All right. Yeah, I feel like that would be sick. I would love that. Bloated corpse is a widow mine like StarCraft 2. Yeah, so the bloated corpse, it shoots a missile out of its skull and then fires away, then reloads. Widow mines would be so OP in Warhammer. They would be pretty sick. All right, so we're up against Louis. King Louis. This is Dr. Jellyfish, very strong player, so let's not meme too hard. Much as I want to just run to Henuin, it's probably a bad idea. The tic-tac-toe, though? The tic-tac-toe? He has a Mask of Heavens. Gives flying units 10 melee defense. If it's just a, yeah, if it's a flying unit, it's 10 melee defense. Okay. Alright, I got fun Tenuin strat, okay? I mean, not Tenuin, tic-tac-toe. Tic-tac-toe strat. Do we take Roiling Skies too? Just absolutely delete. It only affects them if they're flying, but I can actually get air superiority here if I do this right. Bloated Corpse Catapult? Well, it would have to be a Bloated Corpse Cannon. But like, come on. What else could Queen Bess possibly be shooting? Let's see here. Do I have any slows with this? I could use Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning did get buffed, right? 13 damage. AoE, that's has to be good, right? It just has to be good. Okay, now what? So, yeah, and then I do this. I want to know if normal Ripperdactyls can kill cavalry. It's 44 melee attack, 126 weapon strength, 52 charge bonus. In theory, you would think normal Ripperdactyls just delete cavalry on the charge. But I don't know if that truly applies here. Color me slightly suspicious, but seems a little sus to me. What else does Tic-Tac-Toe have? He has a 40 melee defense buff, 25% speed. Can this guy actually outduel Lewin? As long as he's flying, you get plus 15 melee attack. Dude, how much of a beast can you get Tenuin to be? You give him Deadly Onslaught, it costs 1450. But you can give him plus 40 melee defense. No, plus 50 melee defense. Bring him up to 53 armor. And 70 melee attack. Interesting. I am mildly interested by this turn of events. That sounds like it could be hilarious. Unfortunately for me, it's not too much else I can get here. Is this worth? Does anyone know if the Skink Chief is worth taking like ever? He gives a speed bonus. You know what? Sure. Why not? I got a wacko build. You guys will love it. Exceeds the unit cap. Screw you, game. Too many flying units. Oh my goodness, this game. You know, Skink Chief just doesn't have armor piercing. He doesn't need to be flying, right? All right, we ground him. You grounded, Skink Chief. Putting you on the ground. No pterodon for you. Let's do it. If I win this one, that'd be great. Bretonnian victory? Sick. Skink Chief is leadership. Can snipe on the pterodon. Hey, Tech Priest Toast, what's up? Skink Chief only seems okay. Sniping a low armor single entity over a long match when on pterodon. Yeah, he can be pretty good versus beasts, man. You can chase around dudes or like snipe a minotaur from the air. Very, very annoying unit to have to work your way around. Some people. Oh crap, I forgot to give points. Ah crap. Whoopsie-daisies. Whoopsie-daisies. Adminning tournaments. Why is it gotta be so difficult all the time? All that. I'm ready. If we can beat a Son of the Mountain clan member, we're crushing it. Double skink chief damsel sniping against Bretonnia meta. Actually, not the worst. Thinking about it, that'd legitimately be pretty terrifying. I think my current build doesn't really have too much set up for it, but it's not bad. Can use the shredder, it's mostly skinks. Yeah, I'm allowed to use skink ridden monsters, but I try not to if I can. Really wonder what the Bretonnian build is gonna be. Oh, I forgot to change my faction banner. I really like Talaxlan, but let's use Sentinels of Zeti. That seems like a fun one. If skink characters count. Oh yeah, okay, I already read that. All right, here we go. The shredder is mostly a big dino, but like I literally cannot spend my money otherwise. It's very hard to do a skink only build. Yeah, Dreadsaurian and Shredder are both allowed. Most of the Bastiladons are allowed because they have skinks on them. So like none of the vanilla dinos count, but a lot of the upgraded dinos do. So like Bastiladon Solar Engine just has a whack load of skinks on it. Okay, so this map is harder to just get that full capture point victory, but I'm gonna be trying it regardless. So here's the idea. I have the Supreme Air Force. Ready, good luck, have fun. I have an absurd Air Force here, okay? Ooh, this banner's kind of fun. A little faded looking, but I kind of like it. So I got double pterodon here, Ripperdactyls. I have the passive. When I cast a spell, he loses 20 melee defense. Tic-Tac-Toe has Master of the Skies, which is a 40 melee defense boost. He has all his items. Deadly Onslaught, Mask of Heavens is 10 melee defense booster for flying units. These guys will be significantly tankier than usual. Ah, it's gonna be so good. He also gives them armor, which is pretty hype. Blade of the Ancient Skies. So as long as he's flying, he does 1,000,000 damage. This is the full-on Lewin is grounded build. I can use Stegodons if they have skinks on them. They have skinks on them is the rule. These guys, skinks. Alberic, come at me, you piece of crap. I want to fight Alberic so bad. I want to fight him so bad. All right, we're gonna send Tic-Tac-Toe right on.
We have a victory point. Keep it from
Knights of the Realm, not a chance. So we're gonna get him to pull back and then maybe kill these guys with pterodons, maybe chain lightning or something. It's he has a lot of infantry. This guy should be fine though. It's a little bit of poison in. Okay. Don't want to take too much archer damage, right? That's just that would be most unfortunate. The thing is, Alberic can't really support his forces here too well. Tic-Tac-Toe. There we go. Does he kill Alberic here? Oh, geez, Alberic's dumpstering the poor fool. He's getting dumpstered. That ain't good. I'm gonna need a sick chain lightning here. All right, that's gonna slow him down just a little bit. He doesn't have much cavalry here, but I think maybe we can get a little bit of a sick landing over here. I do have a rock drop. Lightning's doing okay versus these guys. What a mess of a fight, though. Oh, these guys are not doing very well. Come on. Oh, are you kidding me? They got terror routed, bro. All right, that was a terrible fight. It's a terrible fight. I'm pulling out of there. All these guys better back it up. I'm settling for my capture points. All right, TLDR. Do not fight the Bretonnians in the air. That was with all the buffs. I used all the buffs, man. What the crap? I totally could have just stalled this, but I flew too close to the sun. Now, we might still be able to kill Alberic, though. If he gets real aggressive, I could just shoot him to death, which would be a pretty funny strategy. And then if we kill him that way, I think we still have a chance here. Yeah, you can see that massive damage from the skink skirmishers. They're very painful. That's going to help pull me back a little bit. And thankfully for me, Bretonnians also take bloody ages to actually do anything in terms of capturing. So I think we actually still have a chance here as long as I play this out fine. Tic-tac-toe. He's surviving. He's a survivor. Look at those armor-piercing skinkies. Doing great. All right, there we go. Let's start getting that flank going. Let's bring in more skirms over here. All right, now I gotta make sure that I never take just a full frontal charge against Alberic. That's just a death sentence. Otherwise, we have options. I do have this sick rock drop. That's pretty funny. He certainly has a lot more knights, though, which I do not very much appreciate. But it appears Alberic's low, man. Alberic's hella low. I can even do a little bit of this, a little bit of chain lightning action. Just a wee bit to kill off his cavalry. That's going to be very big suffering if it continues to stagger him around and whatnot. As long as we keep the cavalry occupied, I believe it can't possibly be too bad. Of course, we're going to have to steal a lot of points here. We're going to have to make use of our skirmishers, and we're going to have to keep Alberic on the back foot. Counter-charging with our skinks as much as humanly possible. Looks like he's trying to do a big loop around with the cavalry here. Okay. Thankfully, we slow him down a lot. Painful amount indeed. So I should just be able to stay alive here. Alberic's really not participating in the battle either, which is beautiful for me. I can probably pull in over here and get those archers bullied at least a little bit. There we go. There goes his super expensive cavalry. Hell yeah. Ticket wise, we're actually doing pretty fine, I must say. Ticket wise, things are going amazing. The chain lightnings have been great. These guys are at one entity. How marvelous. And Alberic, he commits to the fight, but it's going to be a little sus. Now, I'm going to need a big enough force here to actually collapse in on this. I do have my anti-cav core. If I can capture this point, that would be amazing, but I don't know if that's at all possible. Real TBD on that situation. Alberic at least is still very low, which is certainly a nice bonus. And those archers are getting flanked. His infantry's getting flanked. We're piling in the skinks. Despite a rather bad early game, my mid game has been going way better. We've been microing this very well. His cavalry's just been getting caught up. I'll take it. Unfortunately, you will be able to land a pretty nasty charge on me, but otherwise, not too bad. Yeah, pretty nasty charge. However, he loses a unit of cavalry for some skinks. How much cavalry is going to lose for just a couple skinks, you know? In fact, those knights errant are probably going to go down too. I can probably just kill these. What's Alberic going to do about it, right? Surely not too much. Loses, yeah, a whole unit of knights errant for a couple skinks. Hell yeah, hell yeah. The skink tide's coming on in. We're really starting to put on that time pressure too, which you know we love. Very nice. Pterodons can start cycle charging. And interesting to see that he's still spamming infantry. I really would have thought that he'd be getting in more dudes, but all right. Magic wise, we're still doing okay. And it looks like Alberic probably wants to dive on in, but he's not really committing yet. Interesting. We did rout off the archers, which is nice. And look at those skirms, man. Dude, the skirmishers are cooking up hard. Where'd Alberic go? He's flying over here to try and stabilize the situation. So this is where we start bullying him, right? Want to bully him? We want to flood the points with a million skinks. So he whiffs the charge, going for my caster instead. A big misplay for Alberic, as now he is going to get surrounded and pummeled. Battle Pilgrim, slightly spooky, but we can't charge him. And he's actually bringing in more Pegasus, which is generally good for me. Tic-tac-toe's a beast. Alberic gets a regrowth, but if he dies here, it's totally over for the poor Bretonnians. Regrowth is getting in a lot of work though, but he's looking a little rough. I don't know. Cycle charging, working decent. Boy, does he hit hard though. Okay, maybe tic-tac-toe is the one that's bleeding out just a little bit too much. I really like how little HP he has right now. I could use another lightning, little chain lightning there. Maybe a cycle charging. I should be able to retake the point, and I'll probably get this one because of his summon, but I gotta be super careful with Tanuin. Come on, Tanuin. No! Oh, jeez, Tanuin, fly away. Fly away. He's skedaddling, he's skedaddling. Maybe he'll distract Alberic for a little bit. Oh, jeez, he got hit in the back. We did recapture the point, though. It is a mass route. And you'll probably have a hard time killing off all these skinks, right? If I just triple cap him while keeping Alberic busy, we'll probably be fine, right? Dude, those Battle Pilgrims just gone. Chasing off my boys. Now they get back on the point, though. There's a lot of mobility here that I have to worry about. But it looks like... Okay, no, Lord is dead. Thankfully, Lizardman leadership is nothing to scoff at. And he's gonna have to recapture the points, all right? It cannot be overstated how important it is that he get these points sooner rather than later. And he's kind of struggling to even get a single point, so maybe he'll be okay, you know, if I just stall for a little while. Come on. Come on, boys, just stall it up. Who needs a lord even? It is one Battle Pilgrim. Oh my god, it's a mass route. Brutal. Alright, never mind. I would have really loved that triple cap, but it appears that the Lord loss penalty indeed is actually rather impactful. Who would have guessed? Alright. This one's gonna come down to the wire. I'm gonna need that Lord resummon for sure. We're gonna need to get all our boys on the point. And we're just gonna have to... It's gonna have to stall for a few millennia. Honestly, this was totally winnable if I had played it slightly smarter. But even so, it might still be winnable. Like, a lot of these guys are gonna rally. A lot of them are gonna replenish on vigor. And a lot of them are gonna be hard to throw off the point. Look, this is one skinky over here. It's gonna be doing great. Can I get a little bit of a back point steal? Battle Pilgrims can't really secure this very quickly at all. So we'll have to see about that one. I'm at what, 200 tickets? We got a little character on here. Dude, this game was so winnable if I did not Lord throw so hard. He brings in the Paladin now. Interesting. Brings in the Paladin. Can I boost the leadership ever so slightly just by charging? Looks like he gets one route. Oh, that's gonna be sus. It's gonna be ultra sus. Dude, the Lord loss was a silly maneuver. I can't believe it. Come on, boys, hold. They're doing the bestest. Looks like Battle Pilgrims are not there. Okay. Oh, the backpoint steal. Backpoint thievery going well. Okay. How fast can he take this with 2 units of beat up cavalry, really, right? Okay, so we got the backpoint steal. Let's go. Let's go. So now we can split. Run for your lives, little dudes. Okay, we got a Lord back. And we have a single skink hero here. What a hero. Alright, so he's capturing that back point. So his knights can't possibly retake this that quickly. It's just a single unit of knights, right? Unfortunately, this point's gonna get taken pretty fast though. It's gonna be spicy. I think we totally could have won this if I just played it a little bit smarter. But you never know. You never know. So he's probably gonna take this. I'm gonna leave these guys in the forest. Let's get that bomb drop going. Man, Alberic is such a beast though. That heal actually saved his butt so hard. He's spamming infantry here, but not here, which is where he's gonna need them, right? Like, this point is in great distress. And as soon as he pulls his cavalry there, we move in with our guys to secure this position. It's gonna be a tough one, but never say never. They're on the point. His little Grail relic is not on the point. Hell yeah. All right, come on, bring the knights, bring the knights. Yes, yes, bring the knights. You really want to save this point. You're panicking. You're panicking. Gotta keep away from Alberic. Okay, here we go. Gotta start piling on in there. Right, this is just a diversionary strategy. It is just a diversion. Little hero character there, doing great. We have lots of skinks. We're gonna pull away over there, back into the trees, so that he cannot hold the point at the same time. Lord will be able to live. There you go. And then I should be able to re-secure the home point. All things going well. Home point should be mine. I'm gonna have to deal with these hippogriff knights though. That's probably the worst part. But home point is definitely mine now. Unless the hippogriff knights just crush it, which you never know, they might. And I just gotta hold the home point for 2 minutes. Now with this many Bretonnians, that's gonna be hard. It's gonna be extraordinarily hard. Let's get that brace going. Help them out just a little bit. They do have ITP. Oh boy. I can't believe I almost won this though. Considering I threw really hard at the beginning, I totally could have just won based off of tickets. In fact, I might still win. It's not entirely impossible that this one unit of knights is just not enough. The damsel's doing our bestest. Damsel's chilling, but as soon as I get this one skink here, it's going to get a lot harder for my opponent. So microing his knights around. Okay, we do win on a single cat. Man, these cab charges are brutal though. Okay, come on. Get the melee defense. All right, boys. No, what? Oh, the men-at-arms were enough? You kidding me? Oh my gosh, dude, this is so close. Come on, come on. Ah, yeah, he's gonna get another unit of men-at-arms here. Dude, we could have won this, man. Oh my gosh. This was totally winnable. I just had to, I think if we're playing skinks only, I just always have to play avoidance strat and go for points. Cause that went surprisingly well. Like the only downside was like I went for like a YOLO fight. But that's just, you know, that's just Anticity shenanigans. Anyway, we can still pull it through. Nah, all right, he wins. GG, well played. Brutality. 100% though. 100% without the Lord where we win that. This guy did pretty good. I like the chain lightnings. Let's see, his archers only did okay, yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have enough red cresteds to actually kill cavalry, but not the worst. Not the worst. One more win and we will be able to at least make it to the semifinal tiebreaker situation. 2 throws in this battle, still almost won. Let's see here. How did tic-tac-toe do? Tic-tac-toe, I don't think you full spec him. I really thought he would do better versus Alberic, but he just doesn't have the HP pool to really compete. Should have taken him with nothing and just go for more capture weight. Hippogriff Knights with like no value. Yeah, Hippogriff Knights are they're very killy, but not a lot of capture weight. I do really like the Chameleon Skinks too. I think if we were tryharding this, you go for the Chameleon Skinks to get some early captures, and then you use your skirmishing power to keep them from being too aggressive. From there, you take a bunch of points, and then you just wait for the hyper late game. Because I think this build has a really mean late game, where you are just playing on all points at the same time, essentially. Alberic did land. Man, tic-tac-toe though. Oh my gosh, tic-tac-toe. These Ripidactyls and Colossidons are also very much glass cannons, so I should be playing defensively with them. I kind of like them though, as my like pseudo cav. And then yeah, of course you just don't have any dinos, right? So probably don't run tic-tac-toe. Let's see, you can't take to anyone on foot. You lose out on some magic, which is the reason why I believe if I was to make the most meta version of this build and weirdo playstyle, red crested skink chief on foot, skink priests of amber spear, and transformation of Kadon. This way he is pretty cheap overall. Then you go for as many chameleon skinks as you can possibly take. 360-degree fire. Who's the last one? This guy? Get rid of him. Get this guy in. Go for... yeah, a bunch of skink cohort. So max out skink cohort and these guys. And then you summon in the red cresteds to be your arm piercing dudes. Then you use the Ripidactyls as mobility. Honestly, with a few adjustments, this build becomes very terrifying. And then at this point, you could even run the Croxagores just for your armor piercing. Like skinks and Croxagores would be such a nice, super mobile build. Like this is very much up my alley. Yeah, Shredder of Lustria is ridden by skinks, and it does count. Same with like Bastildons of Sotek and Rev Crystal. Let's see, what's my last unit here? Could just get like a feral troglodyte. What's a naked skink oracle still 1800, which is so expensive. Troglodyte is also pretty bad. I just need capture weight. I need capture dinos. What's the best capture dino? Probably not the Rev Crystal. Probably just go Ark of Sotek, like the good old days. Just have the extra money left over because there's not enough skinks on this roster. Screw it. You know what you do? You take this guy for capture weight. You take a 250 gold skink priest of beasts, and then he just sits there and holds the point. Or you get rid of the amber spear on this guy, and you run 2 manticore summoners. You just de-summon this guy, summon this guy, get another 2 manticores in. It's pretty funny in terms of cost effectiveness. Like it is just 2 manticores or 4 manticores. You get to use basically all your winds of magic. Cost same price as 1 manticore. You can't say it isn't worth, but Flock of Doom's probably better, right? But sure, let's just run this guy at 250. He's just 250 gold, capture weight, and leadership buff. I think this is the most refined version of the build yet. Although I might replace the Ripidactyls with something a little bit more impactful, like some monsters. Yeah, Ark of Sotek Bastildon's not bad. It's a good once they really start panicking and pulling on the point, it's a decent amount of damage. So looks like the next round is up. Advancing the Swiss at goblins. Round 4. It looks like we're up against Tom. Yo, yo. All right. This is the battle to see who makes it to the playoffs. If we lose to Tom here, it's super jover. We get to watch a bunch of games. If we win, I might have to play a tiebreaker. Chaos Dwarves versus Lizardmen. Beautiful. Great thing about Chaos Dwarves is that they're slow. And they don't have a lot of capture weight. We're on Blazing Ramparts, which is perfect. Any adjustments? Any last minute adjustments I want to make to this build? Probably not. You know, in theory, the Ripperdactyl should be able to take super optimal fights because my opponent's busy trying to capture point. I think we just win this. I think this is the easiest. Now that we're locked in and we know that we just have to play for capture points. Easy. Use a cold one, ROR. Don't let's see ignore the lore. Yeah, it's supposed to be skink riders, right? At least on tabletop, I think it was skink riders. Chevrons for the remaining money. If only chevrons did anything. Yo, I'm so excited for this Chaos Dwarf game. It is so easily, if he goes for like a train build, there's no way he can keep up with the skink madness. Although some trains, if he just goes for like a bunch of cheapo trains, like skull crackers, without the buff for some reason, like he just knows that we're going for the skink build, that would be rough. Though skirmishers are not bad. Chameleon skinks are just really good in general. I think map wise too. If you get the right map, things can go really well. Anyways, I need to get some water. Oops, sorry, BRB. Alright. I'm so ready for this. Dreadquake Valley gonna go hard. It's gonna run out of ammunition before I run out of skinks. There's no way. I would kill trains with skinks though. You'll see. I'll figure it out. Honestly, the two games that I won, I didn't need to kill much. I just needed to do well with the skinks. Well enough. Even if I roughly evenly trade, it's fine enough. So it just stands. There's only 3 people with 3 wins each. Yeah, so there shouldn't need to be too many tiebreakers. Yeah, if you're not bringing Saurus, the Dreadquake absolutely will not have a target. Yo, I should change my banner. What banner's good here? It's Chaos Dwarves. You know, Last Defenders is not a terrible banner. It's not my most favorite, but it's all right. Don't chevrons add a tiny bit of leadership? They also add a whack load of price. They are absurdly expensive. So what else could he bring? So I don't really know what I'm supposed to do versus Kadai. Technically, Kadai, he spends 1,400 gold on 4 capture weight. And I can spend 325 on 5 capture weight. This is truly a kite build. You know, it's not even a kite build in the damage sense. It's a kite build in the sense that I just avoid fights for the entire game and then I win. The question is, does it work at a tournament level? Because like Charix and Danican are playing today. And so far they both have a 100% win rate. So TBD on how that's gonna pan out. Danican and Dr. Jellyfish are fighting. Charix is fighting Pontim's Claw. So if Charix beats Pontim's Claw is out of the running. If I beat Tom, then Tom is out of the running. Potatoes Devil might get up there, or Broccoli Fangirl. We'll see how it goes. I hate how cheap RORs are compared to chevrons. You're getting it wrong, actually. You should hate how expensive chevrons are compared to RORs. Most of the RORs are actually just well balanced. So I would not knock the RORs. Lizardman Woo, absolutely. I'm so ready for this. I don't need anti-large, okay? This is like old school, you know, back when main tiding was super popular. This is absolutely a playstyle everyone would go for. But now that main tiding isn't popular, now I really feel like main tiding. I'm gonna go for this. So if I just triple cap him at the beginning, he has 1,500 tickets before he dies. If you divide by 3, you get 500 tickets. You divide that by 60. I only need to hold for 8 minutes, 8.5 minutes. If I can maintain the triple cap. Now, maintaining a triple cap constantly is not a very easy endeavor to take on, but ready. We'll see how we do. He has a lot of units. Laborers get out-traded by these dudes, so can't be that bad. And there we go. So he's gonna have to play real fast here. Yes. Hobgoblin bolt throwers? Dude, it's over. It's freaking over, man. Hobgoblin bolt throwers, man. He's playing the slowest trading build versus the fastest capture point build. If I lose this, I am actually gonna throw up on stream. This is physically impossible. I know I get overconfident a lot. This is not a situation where I feel like the overconfidence is not warranted. This is disgusting. I don't even need to attack these guys. Look at that damage. He's got 50, like 40% missile resist, man. All right, here we go. I just gotta not throw. Just avoid combat forever and we're goodies. My skirmishers are already getting amazing work in, preventing him from capturing the point. So we're just gonna do it. Just gonna get him good. I don't even have to conserve ammunition much because if this game is over fast enough, we will have ammunition by the end of the game. We're really punishing him for having artillery here. He's focus firing the skink priest because he has nothing better to shoot at. Except it's even worse than shooting at my skirmishers because I can dodge with the skink priest. This is, man, I was worried he was gonna counter me. He ended up hard countering himself. This is the worst feeling ever. For a Chaos Dwarf, this is like, it looks like I am cheating, is how hard this build counters him right now. I don't know if he's ever going to capture any points. He does summon in the Dwarf Warriors. Very good, very good. This guy can play semi-aggressively, probably. Like I said, ammunition doesn't matter. The only thing is tickets and not taking damage, so we can be fairly excessive with our usage here. Huzzah! He expected dinos? Absolutely right. I think everyone's going for Croxagores right now. I think like everyone and their mother is like, wow, Croxagores got buffed. I'm gonna spam 1,000,000 Croxagores. And Croxagores would lose to this. It would be very hard. Unfortunately, I am no average player. So, yeah, do these guys beat hobgoblins? I'm pretty sure they do. If they don't, I would be rather surprised. See my little skinkies here. They're doing great. Let's just keep spamming the boys. I have so much infantry. There we go. Fighting's going. Big ol' routes. Let's go. And then I will be able to get more amber spears in a little bit. These guys are really annoying, by the way. Very fast. Need a lot of work done. No, not the hammer. Oh, he hammered me. We got mildly hammer timed, but I think we're okay. Let's just get a skink priest of beasts in here. Why not? Yeah, so hammer time's a little brutal. They actually are still very high entity though, so does it really matter that much? Start shutting down his little artillery pieces here. Pull away like so. And then we hunker down on the points. Let's see. So far, it's looking pretty good. Ooh. Oh, boy. No, not like this. This is 6 winds of magic. Are you ready for the power of 6 winds? Whoa. Half HP off of those Dwarf Warriors. Pretty brutal. I can use a Manticore summon in here, too. Forgot to turn these guys invincible. That's my bad. But we will be able to fight Astrogoth. Now, this might be a Lord throw, but if I recall correctly, he's a fairly tanky fellow, so I should be fine. This is good. This is more a knowledge gain type situation, okay? Oh, crap. There you go. It's more of a knowledge gain situation. Worst case, I got some skinks to support. So artillery pieces need to be defended, and he actually brings in the blazing beards. Wowza. And okay, yeah, my Lord is just getting dumpstered. So he's not a very tanky Lord. I should just use him as a speed demon. Speed demon Lord, just keep him safe. Let's bring him to safety, boys. I got poison for days. No way he's ever getting on top of him. Pterodons are still fine. With most of the bolt throwers down now, my Pterodons can begin looking for some more optimal engagements. That should be quite fun. See these Kadai Fireborn over here. Pterodons beat Kadai. I don't think they beat Kadai. I can use them to fight as infantry, though, as they desperately try to get onto the points. There's a random dude over here. Guess he'll hold point number 2. Yeah, there we go. Get them, Pterodons. Beat them up. And trading is fairly even. That's a great thing about Mantides. Very good at trading evenly. Let's just keep on pulling back. One Bull Centaur dude is going to go down. Oh man, yo, it feels so nice going back to the old meta. I always, ooh, that's a lot of damage. I always didn't like the Mantide styles because everyone was going them with Reckless Abandon. I'm so happy that it's fallen out of favor now. Now that Mantide is finally out of the meta, I can actually go for it. Because it's a fun strat, man. It's a fun strat. You're just sitting around, stalling them for ages. What we got? I have an Amber Spear. Can I chuck it on those Fire Glaives? That would be hilarious. Come on, give me that sick Fire Glaive hit. I actually got this infantry size, right? Yeah, he's infantry size. Oh, hell yeah. You ready for a sick Amber Spear? Come on, give it to me. They're kind of pivoting. I don't know if this will work. Oh, dang, the Flaming Sword. He did it. He cast the best spell in the game. Oh my god. Hey, my Lord's back. Let's get the RORs in here. Dude, I cannot respect Flaming Sword. I can never respect Flaming Sword, man. Every time I see it used in battle, it's always hilarious how little damage it does. Unless there's ethereals, okay? Unless there's ethereals. There's always the one guy that's gonna be like, ethereals, bro. I'm aware it gives magic damage. But what did it do? What did it do? He's getting murdered. Imagine if he brought a flame cannon. More artillery is not the answer to Mantide. Artillery sucks versus these builds because they trade so slowly. I'm less than 8 minutes in, right? So like your artillery has to get the job done in 8 minutes. These guys have been firing all game. They only now have paid for themselves. So yeah, although I will say these are not anti-infantry artillery, but still, it is rather surprising how sketchy it can be. Yeah, Ripperdactyls are actually really good to just gank squad his forces while he tries to get on the points. Like, I have a build that forces you to split up to capture points and units that punish you for splitting up. It's beautiful. It's like an actual build. Memes or not, it works. I think you would probably change some things up. Like, instead of Ripperdactyls, you probably should go for some cavalry. You know, instead of pure skinks, maybe you want... Actually, you know what? The skinks are fine. But yeah, I think you want like at least a couple dinos in reserve. So that was Chaos and Dowie. They did not capture a single point, and we won as fast as possible. And then there's you memeing with Skink Tide. Dude, it's hilarious. Okay, so we're gonna make it to semis with the Grand Skink Tide. You can see Astrogoth. These guys got brutalized by Skink Skirmishers. Skink Skirmishers can win on their own. It's insane. Autumn Chan, thank you. Holy crap, $10. Making a turn-based strategy game. It's kind of like Total War.
I'm making a turn-based strategy game. It's kind of like Total War. It's named Everwar and it's on Steam. Would really appreciate it if you gave it a little shout out.
Did I ever get contacted? Autumn Chain is not just like some random sponsor trying to get a spot on my thingamajig, by the way. Autumn Chain is a long-time viewer. Unless they got hacked. Unless they got hacked. Let me take a look at this. I'll give it a quick look. Let's see here. You said it's called Everwar. Everwar. It's on Steam. Oh, this is a free demo. Oh, let's take a look at this. Everwar free. Oh, okay. I see. Oh, dang. This is really like Total War inspired. How long does it take range units to shoot? That's what I'm wondering. Interesting. Well, there you go. I guess that's already enough of a shout out. Not hacked, trust me. They're playing the long con this whole time. They've been buttering me up. Honestly, seems pretty cool. What does it do better than Total War, though? I think that's my instinct, all right? As, you know, as someone who will be doing reviews and stuff in the future, not like full reviews, but like I might do sponsorships in the future. You gotta give me a solid selling point. As it stands, it seems like it's fine. I think the graphics quality, of course, is going to be less than a AAA game, right? But I don't think there's like... I feel like it's missing a lot of the usual charm of like indie games, right? But does it have like... What mechanics does it have, though? Because I'm a very mechanics type guy. I don't mind graphics. I'm all about that gameplay. So what does it do? The battles are turn-based. Oh, is this kind of like oh, what was that game? Let's see here. What was that? Myth of Magic or something? What was it? Oh man, it's like very popular game. Very popular game. It's like the predecessor to Total War games. What was it? Something of Myth and Magic. Age of Wonders. Heroes of Might and Magic. There you go. Yeah. Is it like that? Is it like that? Dude, I always wanted to try out Heroes of Might and Magic. Do they have a modern Heroes of Might and Magic? Oh, Jesus, Bolt Wars did not pay for themselves. It was just the one. Sad. Sad Bolt Wars. Hey, would have done well, though. Would have done well against some other shenanigans like Croxagore spam. You haven't played it, huh? Yeah, because it was like a hex-based turn. It was a hex grid turn-based game with like a campaign map to like discover resources and such. Who won? Oh yeah, we won. I'm 3-1, so that means I'm guaranteed to at least make it to tiebreaker round. Should be pretty good. And we should be able to start it early as soon as the people of higher points have finished up. Heroes of Might and Magic, Olden Era. Olden Era release date. Summer 2025. Oh my gosh, wait. Olden Era. Yo, do we know if it's gonna be good? Here's my Magic Olden Era. Add to your wish list. I'm sorry, you wanted me to talk about your game, but I'm getting real interested in Heroes of Might and Magic. Oh oh my gosh. But yeah, report back to me. It looks dope. It's pretty good. Yeah, I'll probably play it. I wonder if I can get a key. You think I can get a key for it? Usually game developers will just throw out keys like the candy. If Warhammer 1 and 2 are better to play in 2 with the races / factions from 1 or play 1 separately. So X6 Heavy. The Warhammer 3 has the most quality of life updates packed into it. So I wouldn't play 1 or 2 anymore. You should treat Warhammer 3 as the main game and Warhammer 1 and 2 as just DLCs. Because they are a little bit more on the outdated side at this point, though a lot of people will still swear by Warhammer 2. Most people that have actually played it are like, yeah, Warhammer 3 is more polished in the end. Just from raw quality of life stuff. You know, Warhammer 3, you can nitpick at if you're like a 10,000 hour old guard, but yeah, I think Warhammer 3 is the way to go. And usually you can get a pretty good sale. Oh, actually, is let me, I have a code. I have a code. Let's see. Warhammer 3 Total War. Let's see here. Yeah, Warhammer 3 Total War. Okay, yeah. You have to check if your region is correct. But I do have a fanatical code. It might save you a few dollars if it's not on sale on Steam. You can also hang on to that link. And usually if there's a Steam sale, it'll also be there, and you save like a couple dollars. Sometimes it can be a little bit cheaper, but yeah, there you go. Enjoy, or don't use it. Totally fine by me. I am at the stage though where I'm trying to work on these like non-viewership based monetization strats. The YouTube life. Oh my goodness. I gotta start selling my soul, guys. But no one even wants to take my soul. I'm like contacting a bunch of companies. Apparently my soul ain't worth enough to sell. What a ripoff, man. These guys, these companies, man. Ugh, brutal. We'll see though. I think as soon as I post a few more videos, they'll bite. One of them will bite eventually. I'm sure of it. No bathtub stream. I wish life was that easy. You got to be real famous to make money off a bathtub stream. Otherwise, just doing a bathtub stream for pennies. What are you even doing? Let's sell it out. Sorry, just managing stuff. All right. I think you need a different build for hot tub streams. There's a market, okay? There's a market. Also, you don't know how ripped I am. All right? It could all be under, like, you know, if I've been holding, I could be holding back. The moment I flex, the shit's gonna explode off of my body. Get a Starbucks sponsorship. Oh crap, I said their brand. Crap. Said their brand for free. What am I doing? Famous, you gotta be a girl? No, you gotta be famous, trust me. Trust me. There's a lot of women that are just unheard of. All right, it's not just being a girl. It's a very common misconception. All right, you can't just be a lady and then like easy views. I stand against that because it's hard work, man. In fact, it's more mentally taxing to be a woman that's also a streamer. So much more mentally taxing. I don't know if I'd be able to do it. Vent, let me bribe you. How much for a Malekith or Carl Franz SFT? Just a full-on Malekith or Franz SFT? I don't know. You don't have to pay that much money for the bribe. Like, I don't know, $5-10. I'm pretty cheap, man. I'm pretty cheap. Like, I'm playing games. I'm having a good time. Franz and Malekith are both pretty chill. Pick which one you want, man. Not enough people been bribing me recently, you know. Market's open. Man, I'm desperate. Am I just too easy? Is this a big problem? Man, oh, my parents would be disappointed. Yo, it's really weird. It's really weird. For some reason, easy is part of their like English vocabulary. I've heard them say it before, where they're like, you can't be too easy. I'm like, where did you learn this? Stop freaking me out. Oh man. Stretch? Ooh, stretches. Oh, I'll do some stretches. Let me just flex all. How do you flex and stretch at the same time? How do I sell my body? No, actually though, I need to stretch. My back has been so sore since this morning. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm getting old. I'm getting old. When are you gonna show feet? For enough money, but I'm telling you, I'm not famous enough. All right, thank you very much. Oh man, dude, I'm so sore. I like didn't even exercise yesterday. Not really. Not like a proper gym day. Malekith SFT, dude, euros, holy crap. All right, done. Done. Malekith, we're set for next stream. Malekith only SFT. Easy peasy, dude. Malekith is easy peasy. He's not the best lord in the game. Yeah, doesn't he have an item that like reduces costs of his spells? One of these like reduces the cost of his spells, right? Oh crap, the tournament. I'm a bad host. I'm a bad host. Oh my god, whoopsie days. I'm so sorry, guys. The top players are. And the top players are Pizu, Broccoli Fangirl, me, and Dr. Jellyfish. All right, so tie breakers at Anticity versus at Pontim's Claw at Broccoli Fangirl versus at oh wait, no, it's wait, what are we looking at? It's okay, it's Dr. Jellyfish, my bad. It's Dr. Breakers at Dr. Jellyfish versus at Pizu and at Anticity versus at Broccoli Fangirl at Dan Can at Sharix. Stand by. All right, here we go. Broccoli Fangirl. Hit him up with the yo-yo. Yeah, I have to test out Malekith's items and see which one gets cheaper, because I'm pretty sure one of these items made him cheaper. I think it was like Power of Darkness or something. I'll do it. Thank you very much for the donation. You have sponsored an entire stream. Legitimately. 10 euros is a lot. All right, sick. We're playing lizards. I'm Lizardman. What are they playing? Bretonnia. Warriors of Chaos. Let's see here. What's the maps? The Changers Madhouse. The Blood Grove. So I am top bracket. So I'll ban Celestial. All right, let's do this. I believe the Warriors of Chaos. Sisters of Twilight heal is so garbage. It's pretty rough, Potatoes Devil. It's a rough time indeed. Malekith easy mode campaign. I feel like, okay, well, in campaign, Malekith is super easy mode because, like, all his units are half off. In multiplayer, he's, like, a little outdated. You know, he's getting some gray hairs, but by no means is he weak. Just a little bit on the expensive side. And he doesn't really combo that well with a lot of classical Dark Elf builds, but, like, a Scourge Runner Chariot honestly is good enough. Like, Scourge Runner Chariots and Malekith will get the job done. Ark of Sotek. Yeah, we got it. We got the Ark of Sotek in reserve. All right, here we go. Tryhard mode. Let's go. Hola, skink. Yeah, this skink saying hola, skink is so good. They sound so happy when they say it. Let's see. Warriors of Chaos. We still need the map. What map will be banned? Let us see. Let us see. Yeah, they say like skink. Oh man, I should have turned up the audio for this stream. I would have been sick. I love the chat down below, just filled with hola skink. Hola skink. Let's see. What do I want? Anyone think Ripperdactyls work here? Do they kill aspiring champions? What? 44 melee attack, 15 bonus versus infantry. I think they actually do kill aspiring champions, which is a Warriors of Chaos favorite, right? We could see Pavane. Could see some Pavane action. Yo, I'm so ready for this. I feel like Warriors of Chaos get deleted by the Lizardmen. Who should I play as? Zulan Huapek. Expecting a Dark Elf? You were expecting a Dark Elf from Broccoli Fangirl? They're a big Chaos fan. I guess Chaos is Broccoli. They speak Spanish or Portuguese? I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see. What else is Warriors of Chaos Field? Hellstriders? Rot Knights. So Rot Knights, in theory, there's not enough. Not enough capture. Not enough capture rate. So I'm hoping, like, so Hellstriders just die. Technically, the newly buffed Chaos Knights could be a big problem, but are they really gonna be that much of a problem? What are they even gonna do? The same thing Bretonnia did? Forsaken. So one of the great things about Skinks is that they are 46 speed compared to the Forsaken's. Let's see here. Let me check. I'll leave the screen blocker up. Forsaken are a mighty 46 speed. So all my units, all my infantry is the same speed as Forsaken. They shouldn't get caught. And then I can send like red cresteds on them and maybe kill them. Get a surround or something. Wait, Morrowind had a joke about Spanish speaking lizards? Oh, I didn't know about that. I never played Morrowind. What's your favorite lore of magic? You love Lore of Heavens? Can't say I'm a big fan of Lore of Heavens. I personally, if there's a lore of magic that I get to pick on a faction for free, I would probably go for... I feel like Lore of Yang is almost there. It's just kind of too weak as a lore. I feel like Lore of Hag is weirdly funny now, but it's not that good. Lore of Slanesh, though, I really like Pavane. I really like Pavane. Because rampaging an enemy's units. Also, yeah, I don't have, you know, I'll move the screen blocker. Rampaging an opponent's units is hilarious. Lore of Nehekar is cool. Lore of Life is cool. Is there a Lore of Magic that has no bad spells? Yeah, Lore of Fire has a bad one. I think Lore of Death is the lore that has the most. I think it's the only one that doesn't have a D tier spell. Doom of Darkness is situationally useful. Aspect of the Dread Knight is situationally useful because magic attacks. Spirit Leech is great. Ooh, Metal's really fun. Soul Blight is an armor debuff. So in a world where you can only take one lore, you probably want Soul Blight for the for the debuff. Not as good as Plague of Rust, but it's getting there. Purple Sun just got buffed, and Fate of Bune obviously is one of the more meta spells. Lore of Death does not really have D tier spells. So yeah. Lore of Vampires also has a lot of decent spells, though Curse of Years is kind of rough. They want to play Madhouse, okay. The Changers Madhouse. Warriors of Chaos, let's do it. If we lose this, we don't make it to semifinals. If we win, we absolutely do. What if you made your ideal lore? So you would need a sniping spell. You need Plague of Rust, right? Honestly, there's some crazy stuff you can do with spell combos. Plague of Rust is already huge. What's it combo with though? I feel like it's something. Most good spells are direct damage though, but I think you take Plague of Rust. I think you might even take Flesh to Stone and the take Flesh to Stone or like the Cathay Jade Shield, right? You need a net, so you obviously want Net of Ammontok. Dude, it's just, this is the most OP lore of Magic ever. It's disgusting. But I think you can probably get by just with a net and like a really explosive spell, but all the explosive spells got nerfed. I don't think there's anything there that you really want. You know what? Screw it. Spirit Leech, Arcane Unforging, Power of Darkness, and Rancid Visitations. There you go. Just that way the lore can always snipe no matter which, and Doombolt. That way, no matter what they nerf, there's always going to be one of those spells that's going to be good at Lord sniping, right? And then you're good, you know? And then you're perfectly fine. It's the most toxic lore you might... Oh yeah, and Gaze of Nagash for the 6th spell. There you go. It's maximum toxicity. Let's see here. So we're going to do this. We are definitely going to be able to capture this at the very beginning. All right, from the get-go. I got my lord. I got my little skink fella over here. And what we're going to do, I'm going to fly on over, get that capture point. And then we're going to be good. Ready, good luck, have fun. Nothing too crazy going on here. This was the build that we were talking about. Sounds cancerous AF. Hey, you told me to make a good lore of magic. I made one. All right, so I got my capture skink priest of beasts. Capture skink. We got our lord over here. We got manticores, amber spear. Let's get a little bit of flank on that. All right, here we go. I didn't notice that they readied up, my bad. So we are seeing some scourge runners. Pretty standard fare, right? Gorby's chariots. It's not dark elves, it's the warriors of chaos. As long as I shadow my dudes, we'll be okay. Piercing bolts and burning head is kind of whatevs. Never really worried about that much. And this is actually a perfect time to summon in the Bastiladon Arc of Sotek. It'll do a lot of damage to the poor cavalry here. It'll be pretty jokes. And there you go. Is he really gonna go for it? That would be insane. That would be insanity. Don't go for it, Broccoli fangirl. Ouch, 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 ouch. Okay, Burning Head did hit a bunch of dudes. That was a well-aimed Burning Head. I'll give him that. I think Broccoli Fangirl's a lady, but I'm just gonna call them for consistency. As you can see, the damage is rather high. So most of those knights go down, but I lose one Pterodon rider. Thankfully for me, it's a cheaper Pterodon rider. The rest of my guys are fairly good. Damage-wise, it's a little spooky, right? Oh, we're gonna need to send in that Manticore, of course. Pterodon riders are gonna have to probably just stick with it. But the Bastiladon's gonna get in there. This should be able to get a lot of work in. Do have to be really wary of them Gorbeast chariots though, but look at that Manticore, he's cooking. Little skink, little hero skink character there, doing great. I do have a triple cap, I mean a double cap, but not a triple cap. But this is where things start going well for us, right? This mosh pit is a perfect situation for most of my skirmishers to be firing into. Manticore is doing all right. Bastiladon's just gonna drop that little damage in there. And there's not a lot that should be able to kill him in theory. I did lose both Pterodons, which is not the prettiest situation. I did vow to slow trade it. So it's a little sus, but hey, look, snakes are doing fine. Manticore is cooking it up, and we do have that double cap. Most of the Chaos Knights are very injured. Archie, though, kind of chilling. Now, I do have an Amber Spear we can chuck out. Hopefully, it doesn't just careen into the hill. Okay, decent damage. I'll take it. Archie shouldn't be too bad to manage. Bastiladon can probably tear out these guys soon. There's the invulnerability. I'm just going to pull away from the Forsaken. I'm going to hopefully make use of these Pterodon riders. So you can see my skinks here. They're doing great. Bastiladon doing fine. We get a little bit of dodge. I'm really not liking those chariots, though. They are a pain. And okay. Rotting riders. Wowza. Okay, so my opponent's going all in on the trading core. Does not care at all about not having enough units to capture. And these guys are pretty fast too, so there's a good chance that this actually gets pretty nasty for me. We must be wary. Thankfully, these skinks can continuously skirmish away from the rotting riders into infinity, but I will have to give up at least one of my points. Trading's not the worst though. You'd be surprised how well the trading's going. Just pull away with the Pterodons. And then we go back in. There we go. Bastiladon can kill off those Forsaken soon. And then we just want to send in the boy. Send in the little skinky over there to manage that point. Now, I'm very surprised to see Doom Knights. If I overwhelm them with the range, we'll probably be fine. Bastiladon over here with a little bit of poison. Should do pretty good. Look at my little skink. He's having a dandy old time. He's getting there. Will he ever capture the point? I don't know. But he's getting there. Could probably get a sick Amber Spear there too. Ah, we have Hellstriders. Okay. Definitely quite a tussle. Quite the tussle. But hey, Archie's kind of suffering. Archie is suffering. My lord is actually killing those guys. And remember, a lot of my value is through some dudes, through some Manticore summons. So we might still be able to do okay here. Unfortunately, the chariots are in, and I have very little anti-chariot tech. My javelins are doing a lot of damage though. Okay, here we go. Should be able to bully the chariots. Should be able to get on the points. We do actually hold the middle too, which is huge. And the Forsaken gets routed. Huge. Double huge. Let's kill off those Hellstriders of Slaanesh next. And then if I resummon this... Oh yeah, the value tracker doesn't track skirmisher damage well. That's also a thing. So this could actually be way better for me than what the game says it is. Because my skirmishers are getting ludicrous value right now. And the game really hates tracking that. See the Forsaken here. They do mulch my guys pretty fast. Here come some Marauder horses. Horse masters. Wow. All right, that's just waiting to get pummeled here by my glorious abilities. I'm gonna give up the middle point. Horse masters do go down fairly well. Nice. So let's just give up the middle. We're chilling. We're chilling. My lord's doing fine. Ticket wise, it ain't too bad. And it appears this capture point shall be mine. Keep kiting them. Keep kiting, you darn lizards. Okay. They're doing all right. My lord is still alive, and we're going to see if we can avoid these Forsaken just a little bit. Unfortunately, they're probably all going to get terror routed off the map, and that will be a very rough time indeed. Yeah, there you go. Big old fat route. Yeah, they're all terror routed. Brutality. And although I do get this point, it's not the prettiest of situations. Though a double cap is a double cap. Come on. Don't you dare die, little skinky. Okay, there we go. So he's really committing to this engagement. But can we take this point? So what? I got a couple pterodons over there. Some Forsaken are over there. I don't like how this is playing out. Hopefully bracing for the charge does it. I must say, it's pretty painful. All these dudes over here. Yeah, so now we're down trading for sure. But I might be able to get on this point. I'm really not liking those chariots though. Dude, the chariot maxing. Now, what I do have is a lot of time. So don't count me out just yet. The resummon of the skink skirmishers will definitely be rather painful for my opponent to manage. They also have a lot of points that they gotta get. So never say never. I think we might still have a chance. There go the skirms. I'm down to 2 points, but it's gonna be 1 soon. Okay, here we go. Skirmishers underway, and my lord's sick. All right, they're gonna cook. No way Archaon can kill this random red-crested skink chief. No way. Bastildon's actually cooking too. Its super high armor is helping it out. All right, here we go. Time to kite some Doom Knights. Just give me a couple of years. I'm sure it'll work out. More skink skirmishers. Oh, the dodging. All right. They're dodging. Oh boy, this is gonna be nasty. This one right here is gonna be very nasty. So the skirmishers are most definitely in. Rot Knights are trying to heal up, so I guess we have a little time, but the middle's gonna die very fast. Looks like we did kill off these guys though. Oh my gosh. Just get the summon, bro. All right, here we go. We're back to trying to value trade with skirmishers. But time is of the essence, and we do not have very much time. I will have to work my way up to a single cap soon, which is awfully awkward. Okay, come on, let's pull back. I'm just counting on the skirmishers to get their value here. Come on, we skirmishers. Come on. If they get routed by Archie again, it's terrible, though. We are seeing a whiff of the Burning Head. One of the skirmishers might get caught. Looks like I will be able to possibly secure the point, though. Doom Knights whiff. The Doom Knights whiff. Okay, that's huge. And I should be able to get a couple of these guys in here to shoot at the Hellstriders and whatnot. We do get a little bit of a route. Okay. I am triple capped, though, so we are rapidly running out of time. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, skinks, hold. Oh, man, I think the chariots are too much. Ripperdactyls were not able to do it. And now the mass armor died. Shall be the end of me. There's another Searing Doom. Nigh undodgeable. By the time the indicator hits, it's a little bit too late. I do rout off the Doom Knights, though. And technically, my lord is still around. I think if I had more time, we actually might have been able to, like, re-kite with these guys. But there's another Burning Head. That's going to be pretty painful. A valiant effort. It turns out Skinks cannot defeat the Gorby's chariots. I do wonder, though, if I had Croxagores, how this would have went. I think my skinks probably would have still gotten chased off though, right? They just can't really keep up. I would need like a Croxagore normal skink strategy. But yeah, oh man, those Gorby shirts. Dare I even look at their value? Holy value, holy value. Oh my lord's getting focus fire now. I'll still scrap it out till the end. Let us see how it pans out, because middle point is actually fairly open. Sure, my lord might be routing, but these guys aren't catching up for a little bit. Maybe I'll get some sick recaptures. Look at that. He's dodging. He's a menace. There's no way. There's no way. But I do want to just stick around just in case. Sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes I've had some amazing comebacks. I'm now behind on tickets though. And yeah, these guys are just not able to play keep away. Dang. Brutal. Yo, how did they get the D-summon on the Knights of Brazen Thor? I never know how people do that. I think you do it right before they route off and then it works. Alright, GG, well played. GG, well played. Dang. The skinks were not enough. I think considering the build though, you know, I had some builds that were really favored for me. I had some builds that were incredibly unfavored. I think this is as unfavored as it gets. This would have died to just a Shredder of Lustria, right? If I just took a Shredder of Lustria. But you can't always rely on having everything you need. Tomorrow we do only Saurus. I feel like if I loosen the restrictions a bit and start going for Shredder builds, we probably annihilate. Ah, dang, they knew about the skink challenge. I think we could have won with a Shredder. It's fine. If I can't win with people knowing about the challenge, what are we even doing with our lives? I will say though, even if they knew about the skink challenge, I'm really surprised I wasn't ready for monsters. Unless the Doom Knight's cooked. Next time I'll bring a Shredder. Second loss. All right. Let's see what the other people are going for. Let's see. We'll message Pizu and Dr. Jellyfish. Dr. Jellyfish at Pizu. Let me know when you finish your match. More Stegodons. Yeah, I think you can probably win by going skink heavy and then take a couple skinks on monsters. I think if, you know, just because of the nature of the stream, people are gonna know what's coming. But once you start mixing in monsters or even pterodons, like this can just become the Shredder of Lustria win again. Anyways, I do have the top 4 to get into. We'll cast that and then we can move on. Pizu has 1. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and cast a semi-final game. Lobby. Alright, announcement tourney. Okay, so I gotta go here. We go to the top 4. Gonna have to edit it. 1 second. I think we can make it work though. This is definitely easier than Cathay. If I'm allowed skinks and dinos with skinks on them, I think this is legitimately easier than Cathay because I do have the Shredder in the back seat, just waiting to wreck face. Let's see here. Tournament match. Top 4. Okay, so I just gotta go here. And then we're good. Cathy's still catching strays. I do want to try Moonbird shenanigans eventually, but yeah, I don't know. Cathy's still real jank. Let's see here. And Sharks Jellyfish. Wait, Danican Jellyfish? Player Charix. Player 2 Jellyfish. Okay, nice. And then we do this. So it's Pizu and Broccoli Fangirl have made it forwards. So Pizu will be facing Danican. And Broccoli Fangirl. Broccoli Fangirl will be facing Dr. No, we'll be facing Charix. Okay, yeah. Charix. No options. What do you mean no options? There we go, Charix. All right. And then we're good. And then everything should be set up. Let's see here. At Danican versus at Pizu. At Broccoli Fangirl versus at Charix. Let us see how it goes. Charix is a menace. Danican is also a menace. I would actually really like to see a Charix versus Danican grand finals. They're both insane. Tomorrow I will be trying Malekith though, right? Tomorrow it's a Malekith day. Malekith it up. Where's it at? Yeah. And then I'm free to do whatever else I want. I feel like Malekith and then like a million Scourge Runners does well into all the Chaos factions. Against artillery factions, you probably just go for a Stalin Rush. Here's the problem with Malekith. It costs 2,500 baseline on his dragon. You could take him on a chariot though, but it's a melee chariot. Gaze of Malice is okay. Soul Stealer is pretty good though, and it's a percentile heal. Power of Darkness is real good. Malice greater than Malekith. Well, the suggestion was Malekith. I would happily try and get a win with them. Happily. All right, we are waiting for the lobbies to get set up. Lobby code, please. We're gonna be casting Pizu first. Yeah, honestly, I almost want to play more Lizardmen. I feel like if you have some Croxagores in reserve, and then you go for a Mega Skink build, I could really see Lizardmen being a menace to a lot of factions. Because oh jeez. Okay, it was my build. Thank goodness. I almost showed off some builds. What am I doing? Okay, spectate. There we go. You're sticking with the skink challenge until you win a tourney. I'll probably go back to it. But we did get a pretty big donation to try out the Malekith SFT. But Lore Master of Sotek really wants to see me win with skinks only. The thing is, anything's possible with the Shredder of Lustria, man. I basically won with skinks only before. Shredder plus the Chameleons is like just fat value, man. Chill of Santar in memory of Falcon or no ball. No balls. Yo, Falcon would have run Chill of Santar. I will consider it when the day comes tomorrow. But all right, we're just waiting on the players. Shredder plus Skink Oracle Healing is also really good. I personally prefer the Rev Crystal though, because it's cheaper and it will heal more. I'm getting flashbacks to everyone chanting same build, same build. So the build is, for all of you newcomers, a while back I went for a Shredder of Lustria build with Mass Pterodon Riders, and it could beat, with Mazdamundi, and it could beat gun builds. So like, people would try shooting the Shredder of Lustria to death. Mazdamundi plops down the barrier to stop it from taking too much deeps. And in the meantime, my flock of Pterodons just park right above their range units, rock drop them, instant routes across the board, and then the Shredder of Lustria just kills everything else. It was hilarious. But yeah, nowadays I think people have some better they have some better strats against it. Now without Mazdamundi, Mazdamundi has skinks on his model, just saying. Ugh, I don't want to go full Mazdamundi though, because I also don't think I have to. This build is mostly all about just capturing points. And I think that's a legitimate strategy that works. I just need a little bit of mass. So if I go a tiny bit harder on the dinos, we'll probably get there. Let's see here. Unfortunately, dinos that can actually support the skinks is a bit harder. You know, against the Warriors of Chaos there, a skink Oracle probably would have crushed face, right? Unless he just deep dives it and kills it with Archie. But skink Oracle wouldn't have been too bad. Really, the most disappointing thing was how quickly the Pterodons died. Or not the Pterodons, the Ripperdactyls. I feel like Ripperdactyls. Not about that. Technically, I did commit them a little bit early though, right? There's a chance I could have won with the Ripperdactyls if I played them way more defensively and just let my infantry die, let the skirmishers cook. Because trading wise, we were actually doing okay. Did the solar engine get nerfed because of that? I would not be surprised if the solar engine got nerfed because of the Shredder of Lustria build. People tend to react pretty heavily to what I do, but it's also not always a thing. So when it comes to the like the Frost Worm, I'm really surprised the Frost Worm didn't get nerfed. That's probably the biggest thing, right? So I'm also willing to bet that it was just, you know, some other reason. It could have been land battle too, though. I'm sure there's like a disgusting land battle blob you can do with perfect vigor that needed nerfing. They did remove a lot of vigor boosters, so that could be way more likely. Try Oxyotl at all? Nah. Oxyotl's cool, but he doesn't really do more than a skink skirmisher unit. It's kind of sad. Yeah, I'm really excited, by the way, for this Pizu versus Danican. So it's Dark Elves versus Kislev. I would really love to see a Frostworm Mother Ostankia build. Because Danican really likes going for the chariots, and if he doesn't go for the chariots, Mother Ostankia double Frostworm should absolutely cook here. 20% of the time, Ripperdactyls are awesome, yeah. I do think that you can make it work. Like in the hands of Charix, who really likes Pegasus Knights, I think as long as you absolutely never put them in a situation where they have a bad fight, they're really good at picking off lone targets. But if they ever get stuck in a blob, it's insta-death. So you can use your skink skirmishers to get a bit of a better situation. But yeah, the Ripperdactyls was so disappointing that game. Like, they did not kill the chariots. It was really bad. Though, obviously, Broccoli Fangirl is doing a good job searing dooming them. Getting the searing dooms on them. Put $5 on Danican, but your hatred of Skull Reapers makes me sad. Skull Reapers. Yo, I might try a Skull Reaper tournament win at some point. We'll see. If you play perfectly, they can be good. Yeah, there's so much other stuff on the Lizardman roster that will do way better. Like Cold One Cavalry, Cold One Spear Riders on the Lizardman roster are better than Ripperdactyls in almost every way except for speed. But I don't even really need the speed. So it would just be a straight upgrade. But hey, you know, I'm supposed to be the best player in the world apparently. So gotta make up for it. Gotta make up for it. I do think, though, by the way, that playing these challenges is actually pretty good practice, too. I've said it a few times, but it forces me to see my mistakes, because I don't see my mistakes as much if I'm just like, haha, Purveyna Slanesh, YOLO the Hellstriders, lose my lord, whatever, right? I don't care, I win anyways. When I actually get punished for, like, you know, not using the Ripperdactyls properly, when I know that they can be, that's where you become a good player. And then I can play a filthy death blob as Kislev and win in tournaments. It'll be great. Frostworm. Very expected. Tsarina Katerin on her ice sled, though. Look at this beast of a sled. So they got range attacks. The horses run over dudes. Look at them. It's a different horse model from any other horse in the game. They got a bunch of ice just sticking out. Waste of magic, I swear. Should drain 1 winds of magic every 10 minutes. What else do we got? Ice Maiden's Kiss. That's it. Wow. Okay. So it's a, yeah, she's just going to Wind Blast them. Very infantry heavy Kislev. I'm really surprised that Double Frostworm has not caught on. Maybe it's in reserve. Maybe he fears the Scourge Runner Chariots of Danakan. Double Assassin. Also, very popular these days. Interesting to see the Black Dragon Egg. It does have 3 uses. It is relatively cheap. I personally don't like it because it's a really slow trading item, but in a kite build, it does make sense. Full armor piercing. And then double Web of Shadows, right? Yeah. Mirrored assassins with Web of Shadows. Web of Shadows has been a very popular tool as of late, because it's very common that your assassins will get about 4 targets around them. But it's not impossible to counter assassins. The counterplay is being worked on. But we'll see if the Kislev can do it. Gonna need to protect those Zargard, right? We're looking at about 108. I mean, it's 88 HP per Zargard. Wait, no. It's 110? Wait. Oh, crap. Wait, Matt. Wait. 88 divided by 8. Yeah, it's 110. Mathematics, I think, right? Yeah. 88 divided by 80. Yes, okay, thank God. My math degree, I don't have to burn it. Yeah, it's gonna help out a lot. Quick maths. So if they eat, like, the assassins at 16 a pop, 16 times 6, quick maths. So that's, what's it? That's 60 damage plus an extra 60%. So plus 50% would be 90 damage. 96.
To flee is to be disloyal.
It's 96 damage. Tsarina's giving a speech.
You must win.
So combined, these two will eventually kill a Zargard and get 500 gold for the expenditure of the Black Dragon Egg. Really slow, but it will get there. It will most definitely get there. These guys also don't have armor piercing damage. Kind of surprising. Even though missiles aren't that armor piercing. So they're gonna roll on in. Danakan controlling the field with the Scourge Runners. Getting that there first capture point. Assassins. Very quickly moving on in. We are seeing a Supreme Sorceress of Shadows. Malkoth's staple against Kislev. Pit of Shades just to get a little bit more damage in. Or potentially shut down a range unit. At the moment, it's a lot of posturing. Pizu, a little fearful. Danakan saying, come at me. Point's completely open, son. Why don't you just step a little far forwards? Pizu's like, you know what? Screw you. Maybe I will. What are you going to do about it? I got Tsarina Katerin. She has 15% missile resist. She doesn't care. She sees the assassin. Nope. I'm getting out of there. Dips immediately. Calls in the armored Kossars instead. These guys got pistols. They can shoot the assassins. No, she does go back in. Okay. A little bit more courage. Get some liquid courage in there. She's kind of freaking out, though. Very indecisive Katerin maneuver. These horses are kind of spooked, as you can see. This is decades of Total War development has led us to this moment. and they do settle down eventually, thus capturing the point, and Daniken gets pushed back, but not before he gets a little bit of a ticket lead. So Daniken most definitely has a lot of time here. Got some pretty good damage on those Kossar spears. Was that you? Was that you? No, it was just a bunch of shooting from Scourge Runner chariots. They're actually quite good against infantry. You'd be surprised. Scabscrath at home. Yeah, this is definitely Scabscrath at home. So, you know, it's a lot of posturing, right? At some point, Daniken will feel like they've traded up well enough to posture back on this point and maybe capture it. But both players are really going for the value game at the moment. Usually, these non-aggressive playstyles are very value-oriented. Dang, that chariot fire. Really cooking it up. Though, Katarine is poking away at them there. Slowly but surely getting their value. Just full-on fire at willing these poor Kislevite infantry units. Will make them much easier to rout in the future. Oh my gosh, and the ambushers get shot up. But, oh my goodness. I don't think they were spotted. No net, however. And I believe that's an overcast Pit of Shades. You can tell by how long, no, by how much damage it does. It does 10 damage per tick. That's most definitely 10 damage. And that's a bit of a flub. I would say that is a mild loss for Pizu, you know? Just a little bit of damage. Technically, if they stabilize, you know, there's still a few entities left here. Only about 1,500 gold. Now, I think most people would pay 1 Winds of Magic for 100 gold value. But, yeah. Jeez. Yeah, Streltsy are gone. The Medusa routs off the ambushers. They get the net though, pack trap, so she's gonna get slightly tired. But this is what I would call a bad situation, especially because tickets are still very rough. K-Knight Assassins though, they're not in range to shoot these guys, so they're not getting a lot of value yet. Have they used the Black Dragon Egg? Okay, still basically unused gold value. That's why I don't like it that much, but we'll see. Maybe what's the range on it? I like to see no one use this. It's 100 meters. It's not even that far ranged. Okay, very sad indeed. Oh, okay, but Pizu welcoming it in. All right, if Pizu's been clicking the abilities, they should know. Black Dragon Egg. Oh my gosh, here we go. I'm not that hyped because it doesn't do that much damage, but let's see. And no, all right, clearly not a very important ability. Daniken opting to micro his units, figuring that that is a much more important thing to do. Maybe he's saving it for 5 minutes from now. What's the cooldown on it? 90 seconds. Yeah, you really gotta start casting that soon, otherwise you won't get all the casts. I will say the Web of Shadows is great because it's just a one and done. Black Dragon Egg is gonna take you at least 4.5 minutes, which is quite a bit. Looks like Kislev's pushing on in though. Doesn't really matter how the early game goes down. As long as Kislev can get a good enough engagement here, it's fine. It's kind of like StarCraft, right? You know, maybe you lose a couple drones at the beginning of the game, but hey, if your timing attack works, it doesn't matter, right? Timing attacks are still timing attacks. They give you a big advantage. And this is a slightly home field defender-sided fight for Pizu. Daniken opting to engage instead of giving up a point. Probably doesn't want to get stressed out by tickets, but it does mean that the fight will be underway. Scourge Runners getting a little bit of damage, but have they paid for themselves yet? No, not quite. Them chariots doing their best. Cold One Knights are chilling in the back. Medusa brutalizing the armored Kossars, and the kitty cat gets summoned only to, oh no, it is fighting the assassins. Kitty cats are actually surprisingly good against single entities, especially large ones. This guy just gets knocked miles away, but his Web of Shadows still cooking. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, by the way, it's not an instant cast. The Dragon Egg, it's not an instant cast, so you can't actually dodge it too. It's such a bad ability, but it did land. You can't say it didn't land. We're waiting for the Dark Elf passive to trigger now. If the leadership stays high, that's going to be huge for the Dark Elves, because that means most of them will be able to use a full minute and a half of Murderous Prowess. So take a look at these Cold One Knights. Botch charge on the Griffin Legion. Never mind. All right, well, you know, sometimes it's a misplays. I guess Daniken's focusing on other things. Huge bit of shades. That's probably what he was looking at. Way better than that Dragon Egg. And because I'm already injured from the Dragon Egg, we will see some lost entities here. Passive putting in hella work right now as the Chariots mop up the floor with the rest of these guys. And yeah, it's just looking like a little bit too much damage was taken, right? It's looking to me like there was just a little bit too much damage. Yes, the Griffin Legion did get a pretty nice charge on the Cold One Knights, but even so, Murderous Prowess gives you a bonus 15 leadership. That's one of the biggest leadership buffs you can get in the game. They got brought down to a quarter HP in a minute, and they are still at half of their leadership. They are totally fine. Not a worry in the world. And they get to make use of the bonus versus large now to win the grind. Pretty brutal. Cold One Knights did get a price nerf, but they're still very good at fighting. And it is looking almost impossible. Kislev army got completely wiped. I think almost everything went in the favor of Daniken. His chariot survived to harass the infantry. His cavalry traded into Kislev cavalry. He got the Web of Shadows. And now he just needs even trades. And yeah, it's just going to be a tap out. Very well played. That was, yeah, that's Daniken for you. Daniken is probably one of the best, if not the best, Dark Elf player in the game right now. Not only do they have exquisite chariot micro, keeping entities alive, they also really know how to make use of the Dark Elf passive. And it just seems like whenever they take a fight, it goes well, even in the backfield. Only thing I judge is these darn Witch Elves. Why are you running Witch Elves? Crazy place. Actually, they might actually be getting into Kislev against like some crazier builds. I do wonder how a double frost form would have done here, because like Katarine was clearly not it. She's way too expensive. Maybe she could have death frosted this lord. There's a few other Dark Elf builds you got to worry about. I must say though, Zargard, garbage. Ambushers, a double garbage against Pit of Shades. Oh yeah, Daniken also, so one of the fun techs that Daniken goes for, one of the really fun techs, lobby code, or stay in lobby please for finals. One of the cool things that Daniken goes for, so you may notice here by the way, that Doombolt is not banned in my tournament, and Daniken didn't run Doombolt. So why does Daniken not run Doombolt? It's because the Lore of Shadows has a 23-second-ish 10% speed buff. Seems minor, till you realize it makes your Cold One Knights way more maneuverable. It makes your infantry get in the fight before they get shot to pieces. It's an army-wide buff that lasts 23 seconds. And it combos perfectly with the Dark Elf passive, because it gets you in the fight. Doombolt, on the other hand, is just a little Lord Snipe tool. But Daniken is not hard on the Lord Snipe. They're not committed to it. So they use Lore of Shadows instead with Melkoth's Miasma, which is one of the best spells in the game, to get the job done. Ban the passive. Well, if Melkoth's wasn't so freaking OP, it would be better. But yeah, anyways, pretty crazy. This is why I don't think Doombolt needs to be nerfed. Then again, Daniken might just be practicing. I'll message him, by the way, so I can get data on balance. Did you skip Doombolt because you felt it was worse in the matchup, question mark, or because it might be banned in other tourneys, question mark. I will say the so one fun thing about the Lore of Shadows, it makes your Scourge Runner chariots outpace cavalry units. So usually if someone's trying to catch a Scourge Runner chariots, cavalry will slowly gain on them and eventually get them killed. But with that speed buff, they just barely stay away and they get loads of damage in while running. It's real good. I'll definitely be using Lore of Shadows if I'm copying Danican. Though Doombolt is not the worst. I still think Doombolt can be nerfed. I could see Melkoth's being nerfed, but I really just want buff spells to be buffed. The damage spells... Okay, yeah, he didn't even know that Doombolt was allowed here. But he usually goes for Melkoth's. And yeah, for that passive. Yeah, he really wants that passive. Yeah, I feel like it does, like, everyone always gets in a twist about nerfing whatever's strong, but they don't realize that there's a whole list of other strong. The mod was right. It's because he didn't know. Oh my gosh, obese chicken. You figured it out. But yeah, a lot of people don't realize that if you just nerf the best thing, the next best thing is going to be the best thing. Oh my god, hell yeah. The rats versus RTK. It's not an RTK mirror. Oh, he's playing Tzeentch? Hell yeah. Yo, I'm gonna love this. It's gonna be hype. He's gonna go armored Tzeentch. Pew pew Tzeentch. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so hype. But yeah. If we nerfed Flock of Doom, Malakoths, Pavane, right? Flaming Sword. Screw that spell, right? You nerf all of those. You know what's gonna be next? It's gonna be Burning Head. You know what? You know what happens if you nerf Doombolt? It's gonna be Spirit Leech. You nerf Spirit Leech, it's gonna be Fireball, right? Because here's the thing. None of the other cool spells, like, you know how many spells you're gonna have to nerf for Stone Ground stance to be good, right? It's way easier to skip all of that work figuring out all these more powerful spells. And just be like, oh, you know what spells I really want to see, right? I want to see these spells and just elevate them. It'd be so much better. I'd be so happy. Also, the single player community will be less angry. Whoops, not supposed to look at the army. Single player community will be less angry because they love buffs and they hate nerfs. It's a nice little sad benefit. All right, here we go. Lost Temple of Sotek is banned. I think I'm the one selecting the map. Danican versus Charix. I think these two guys. So I think Charix is super high on my list as the best generalist player. I think Danican is the best Dark Elf player. So Charix is like, gives me a run for my money a lot of the time. I'm not always sweat lording it, but even when I do, Charix will give me a run for my money. Danican is similar, but like only for Dark Elves. I'm sure they're great as other factions, but it seems like they're really grinding Dark Elves right now. Whereas Charix has branched out from his High Elf, Wood Elf shenaniganry. So it's actually kind of like old blood versus new blood right now. Who will come out on top? Civ games usually have a mod that makes balance changes around multiplayer. Yeah, but no one's been able to pull it off. I think no one's been able to successfully do it. You need a lot of passion. The only person that I could see doing it is like Turin. But Turin doesn't really have the time to do it, right? So Turin is in a good spot for it because he's not trying to win tournaments. Okay, we're playing on Glinty Tooth. Turin's not trying to win tournaments, but he doesn't, as a content creator, he doesn't have time to really investigate all the units, right? And it's similar situation for me, except I probably have more general knowledge than Turin. but there's conflict of interest, right? Where it would be very easy for me to even accidentally sway things towards playstyles that I enjoy, right? For example, am I going to buff Mantide if I had full reigns of balance, right? I might not even consider Mantide. You know, and to consider it would be a lot more work, and I'm trying to do my job as an entertainer first. Yeah, well, there aren't a lot of official patches for Warhammer, but apparently we'll be getting one in 2 months. Fingers crossed they keep up that basis. I would love Warhammer to get a balance patch for multiplayer every 2 months, even if it's just cost changes. It's always very exciting for the community whenever there is a multiplayer balance patch. And that's all they have to do. Like, literally, only multiplayer changes. I'm sure there's some bureaucracy that makes it harder for them to get that in consistently. But, like, in theory, you don't have to test that much, right? Like, who in the single player scene is gonna be like, oh no, the multiplayer cost changes? Maybe it affects mods. I don't know. It shouldn't though, right? Yeah, I think it breaks mods a lot of the time. But hey, you can have like a separate you can have a separate update thingy. Oh, they're both ready. Yeah, you can have a separate, you know, like, call it the multiplayer the regular multiplayer patch beta or whatever. And it's literally just the same as whatever the single player patch is, but with different prices in multiplayer, right? Just do that. Did someone disconnect? I think someone disconnected. Well, let's send it. I think there was a disconnect. Copy image. Danican versus Charix. Okay, we got the builds. We got the builds. I'm just sending it to both players. Same builds. We can try again. Yo, what was the army? So it was infantry heavy for Danican. Very lightweight for Charix. Going for blues. Interesting. Going for the blues. A lot of games have different databases for multiplayer and single player. Yeah. I don't even think they have to change the stats. I think literally they just have to change the prices. And I know, I've looked at the database. I know the price for single player and multiplayer are different. And here we go. Or hell, CA should release a mod. CA should have a mod that just changes multiplayer prices. That way it literally it can't break things, right? You don't even need a separate download. Just have it as a mod. Honestly, the UI switching is easier if they just do it like that. Anyways. Charix with the Knights of Immolation. Searing Torrent. Gyros. Yeah, he likes this. He likes this style. Gaze of Fate. Tzeentch's Firestorm. Exalted Hero with the book. Love the book. The memes are great with it. Sour Guts. With an explosion on death. It's not bad. Very good if you're getting cavalry rushed. Over yonder. A singular K-Knight Assassin. Web of Shadows. Yeah, there you go. Assassin's Trophy. It's almost like the egg sucks. Scab Scrat at home is terrible, man. The fact, if it cast instantly, at least it would be okay. The fact that it has a wind up hurts it so bad. Love to see the artillery pieces though. So we are seeing Danican going for a little bit of a strange play. Going for a little bit of the slow grind with the double RT. Got the Black Arc Corsairs over here. Does he have Doombolt now? He does! Doombolt, Power of Darkness. Power of Darkness, the artillery pieces. That way you don't lose HP on anything. No? Okay. Holding back. I guess you don't have to use Power of Darkness right away. Use it when you run out of magic. So it's sniping versus sniping. Now, Doombolt against Kairos, this guy's made out of shields. He'll only take like 400 damage, so. It's gonna be a little sus. There's cinematic here. We're gonna... You guys see a disconnect? Not like this. Not like this. We'll see. Hold, internet, hold. I hope I'm not the one lagging. Ever seen bolt throwers do well in domination? They are... They're there because there's no other artillery, but in the end they are still artillery. The only long range tool that Dark Elves really have, but I've never really seen them do well. Do like a random cost modifier mod for multiplayer. Something that randomly mixes around costs. You have to switch out builds based on economics. That would be really interesting. I think players would hate it though. Because the way many people play is they save builds. And if it just breaks your builds, that's rough. I'm at the point where I like having the variety. But like you can tell just by like how many people that play one faction. They probably don't want that. You can also get hard screwed by it. Yo, there's a random grudge thrower here. Ah, ancient grudge thrower. I thought this was a Chaos Dwarf map. Maybe it is. Anyways, it looks like probably someone's gonna drop out soon. I don't think it's me because I can still move my camera. Maybe it is me. Usually you can't move around if you're the one lagging. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I think what could be happening is because I am in a America's time, America's internet, and I think both the European area could be screwing them over. So if one of them hosts, then it could fix things. All right, here we go. So I'm really interested to see if the bolt throwers do well. The bolt throwers, we've been asking to have them get buffed for a long time now. All the elf mains have been suffering. I feel like the bolt throwers are going to not do anything. Unless, okay, no, here's the thing. Charx is too good to just let Kairos get shot up by bolt throwers, right? He's not just gonna let his exalted hero get shot up by bolt throwers. Maybe we'll see a couple misplays here and there and they take a few hits, but there's no way. These players are at the top of their game. Unless it's getting late where they live and they're getting a little tired, right? But overall, I feel like they should be fine, right? They should be fine. So like, what are the bolt throwers gonna hit? I guess technically they can force the blues forward, right? So maybe that's what Daniken's trying to opt for. So Tzeentch doesn't really have any artillery. So any amount of poke damage that forces you forwards is enough. The question is, can Tzeentch just chill and just tank the damage? This is a massive map, kind of lumpy. Bolt throwers can push up though. They need the dwarven glow up, double their models. OP dwarves, man, I swear the community would hate OP dwarves. I think I'm already suffering the Grand Cathay. All right, looks like things are running. Ah, they flip positions. Anyways, Yeah, double bolt thrower and a lot of Black Arc Corsairs. So like Tzeentch is just gonna get kited, right? I think the best thing Tzeentch can do, given these starting builds, is probably I think the win condition for Charix is he needs to get some sick Tzeentch's Firestorms down. He needs to get some amazing Tzeentch Firestorms, up trade, and then summon in a whack load of like cavalry. Like get some armor, get some of those Centaurs, and then he's good. Alternative win condition, just run over this Dark Elf army because 1,400 gold, a whole Hydra's worth of money is stuck in these bolt throwers. Looks like everything's working. Knights of Immolation are going to be a big problem too. 120 armor against the relatively low armor piercing damage. Actually, very low armor piercing damage of these hand bows. Not the best versus Tzeentch armor builds, but having blues here is definitely a plus. Or these Dark Riders, all right. Looks like both players are aggressing each other. Just a marching forwards as you do. Kairos looking for some picks. Doombolt's not going to work against them. Probably doesn't work that well against Knights of Immolation either. And I do know that Doombolt doesn't aim at chariots well. So chariot hitbox is the backside, but Doombolt aims between the horses and the actual chariot. So I would expect not a lot of Doombolts to work out here. Kairos is just beelining it too towards his lord. If he takes damage from these skirmishers though, we could see a Doombolt. Blue fire coming on in hot though. And bada bing bada boom. Quarter HP is gone. Kairos though loses his shields. He's dodging. This is a vigor hit and ammunition hit too though. So it's a little rough. Looks like he's out of range of Doombolt. However, so he doesn't care very much. Doombolt is 200 meter range, by the way. Blue fire, 175. Does keep the Lord back, though. No more leadership, and Tzeentch goes for the middle point. Tzeentch trying to force the Dark Elves up. They know they got artillery pieces, so they just want them to scoot forwards. Assassin's coming on in, too. He wants a little piece of Kairos. And he's out of range. Sad assassin. Artillery though, this is where it's at, right? Bolt throwers versus blues. Spread shot on the bolt throwers is exactly intended for these loose formations. As you can see, they already get like 5% of the HP off the blues, but it's just hitting shields to start. It's, you know, it's a start. We're 2 minutes 20 seconds into this game, and these bolt throwers have not done much. Dark Elves are playing very passively, but it could be a strat. This could be a strat. Danican does not simply idle for the sake of idling. He usually doesn't idle just because he's behind and he doesn't have the right composition to kill you. No, what this could be is an idling maneuver to wait for his passive. You can actually see the Murderous Prowess passive over here, because Danican counts as my ally in this match. So Murderous Prowess, he only needs to be 746 kills in this battle for it to trigger. There's only a handful of units, you know. You kill 3 blues, 3 Dark Elf infantry. So if he waits for the big fight to go down, this will absolutely get triggered away. The Knights of Immolation did take 1 bolt thrower hit, but they are out of there. And on 1 point, you're sitting pretty comfortable too. Remember, if you hold 1 point for half the battle and 2 points for the other half of the battle, you're fine. This is a very aggressive army. Potentially, they can get a lot of work done. But Charix is winning the skirmish fight, right? He's doing a good job cycling his injured units out for the shields to regenerate. And he's getting a little bit poke damage on the Lord, so that once the fight gets going, a potential Lord snipe could just rout everything off the battlefield. Interesting to see the weird spawn. Dang, it's been so long. This is like Warhammer 2 Warriors of Chaos Regiment for now. They were taking a lot back then. They were taken at the beginning of Warhammer 3 and then they fell off ever since the spawn nerfs. But they're back. Back to potentially be okay. Though against this many crossbows, I would be a little worried for him. Look at that beautiful accuracy though, man. That Dark Elf accuracy. Stormtroopers, all of them. Amazing. They should just up the accuracy by like 10,000 for the bolt throwers. I don't know why these things suck so much. Okay, there we go. So they're actually going for the non-spread shot on these blues. Because it does more damage. Such as the other shot. Kairos' shields just completely tank a Doom Bolt. I'd love to see it. Although we could see a second Doom Bolt. But cooldown's gonna hurt. Kairos is probably just gonna pull back. Man, this is brutal for Danican. I think Danican's getting sizzled right now. He's getting cooked. He's getting cooked, but he's working on that timing attack, okay? It does mean that we get to sit back for a little while, okay? Because at this point, Charix is probably like, all right, he wants a big push. Tzeentch is not very good at recapturing. And Danican, when his passive triggers, he's probably going to take this point. So how am I possibly going to be able to hold the ground here? He's choosing to opt for the damage. He's like, I don't care about recapturing. I'm going to recapture you when everything's dead. All right, if I just get enough raw value, you won't have any units. Boom. Oh my gosh, Tzeentch's Firestorm. One of the most damaging vortexes in the game. Plops right down on the Bleak Swords. And Charix is probably feeling pretty good about that one. Lord's almost dead here. Kairos at half HP is always the most annoying thing in the world. Because you know you can kill him, but if you play at all safe with Kairos, he's never going to die. And this Lord's probably going to die too. Although he does take a couple bolt thrower hits. Them bolt throwers, they use half of their ammunition. Only got 100 value. And the caster's gone. Getting smashed by the Tzeentch magic. You only really got to do a couple blues and the Tzeentch's Firestorm and you can start spamming that Tzeentch's Doom Bolt. Pretty hype though. She does stabilize and the Master comes on in to say hello to Kairos. You thought Kairos was safe? No, I bought some secret tech. Master, he has anti-large armor piercing, crazy combat stats, and a lot of speed. And he's surrounded by Centaurs. Well, that's a tiny bit bad. Now, usually with like a Pit of Shades, you could save this guy. But that is a misplay and a half. He's completely dead. He does not have the Master escape. I can't believe Danican's a beast. I swear Danican's a beast, okay? I swear he's a beast. Tzeentch is good right now. Tzeentch is very good. This is another blue fire. This could be a really big Doom Bolt. Could take out half of Kairos' HP, but he's probably gonna live. Oh, he's gonna charge attack animation. No, the Doom Bolt doesn't go off. She's just dead. Caster's gone. It's gonna have to come down to the middle fight. 630 units have been killed. The only way Dark Elves can pull back is if they get some crazy fight here. Jeez, that Master died fast. That Master got annihilated. Everything's running for the hills. Is the passive guy? Have the bolt throwers done anything? One of them has almost 700 gold value. The other one has almost 500. Most of it is shield damage though. They're still trying to kill Kairos. And there's another Tzeentch's Firestorm. Kind of whiffs on the Black Ark Coursers though, I'm not gonna lie. Though one Vortex does get him pretty bad. And the Manticore is getting bullied. Master is gone. Nothing can kill these Centaurs. And don't get tricked by the gold damage value. CA still has to fix this. This is a very good position for Tzeentch. This is an extremely good position, though the Master does rally. His passive triggers, and it triggers when he rallies. That's kind of funny. You know what? Maybe there is a chance. A lot of these guys are routing though. In terms of units that are using the passive, we have 1, 2, 3. 3 units are making use of the passive, plus an assassin and 2 bolt throwers. They don't count. The Exalted Hero of Tzeentch is still at like full HP, but Kairos, maybe he gets a Kairos snipe. Maybe he gets a Kairos snipe. Danican going for the Hail Mary. Rampage hits though. Kairos could de-aggro the Manticore as he whiffs his melee attack on the Kairos. He's using some sick tech to make sure that these guys fire correctly, I guess. They're not pivoting. I don't know how he's making them not pivot. Is it like guard mode or something? I'm really surprised they didn't pivot. Oh, look at that. He has an attack command on it. Whatever. Manticore does get distracted, and now it's going to be the Master's turn. Now, the Assassin is cooking. And the Bolt Throwers do get routed off. But will Kairos die? He's a big boy. Big Bird 2000. He has 1000 HP. This guy gets debuffed because he's wounded. So, yeah, he's only going to hit for 300 damage a pop. Kairos does not take a single hit. He nets him. He laughs in the face of the Master. And oh my god, is he going to get routed again. Master at 5 leadership. And Anakin taps out. Well, that was disgusting. Yeah, that's a classic Tzeentch. That's a Tzeentch. Well, you know what happens. Sometimes you get Tzeentch in the face. I guess it was all according to plan. Tzeentch was making himself look weak for so long just so that CA would overbuff him. And now, as long as he can somehow convince CA to never nerf the faction, we could be getting a Tzeentch meta for a while. People have been refining this build. Very good play from Charix. Only a few misplays from Danican, but I think Charix was just really good at handling the kite situation. I will say I'm a little surprised that we didn't get Scourge Runner chariots. I feel like Scourge Runners are really good. Let's see here. Congratulations. Congrats to @Chazarix for yet another win. Brutality, dude. He's such a beast. The Master getting surrounded was so brutal, man. How much value did he get? Oh, that hurts. You know he costs like 1,000 gold? You know he costs like 1,000 gold on his little flying mount? Oh my god. That's pretty sad. That's pretty sad. Wow. Imagine getting less value than the Bolt Thrower crews. Jeez. Oh, that's filthy. That was a filthy counterplay. Yeah, and then the Kairos surviving with like 2 HP. I'm telling you guys, never try and kill Kairos. It's actually impossible unless I am the one controlling Kairos. Port, score, please. I swear. Life is a resource for Charix and Kairos alike. Dang, that's crazy. Oh, and the Doom Knights? Dude, Knights of Immolation. Man, oh my gosh. It's so... I'm happy to see Tzeentch in the meta. But I'm also kind of terrified. But this is definitely going to be a big Tzeentch meta. Dang. Alright, well, anyways. I am going to call it a day. I need to get some food. Tomorrow we will do a longer stream and expect some Malekith action. We're seeing Danican get a lot of work done with Dark Elves. I want to have my try at them now. Just bring 2 Luminarchs. The double Lumi. Ah, hell yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys had a wonderful time. Hope you had a wonderful day. I will see you guys tomorrow. So Charix is supposed to be at 13 wins. He should be at 13 wins after this. Let me just double check. Nice. And it works. All right. Anyone I know is streaming right now? Who are we raiding? Anybody? Anybody? Is like turn hosting or something? No one. No one. All right. Well, we're ending it then. Peace. Have a great day. Bye-bye.